Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? All right. Everything sounds good. Yeah, so looks like SmackDown is going to be a pretty solid show overall. I did a preview earlier where I was kind of talking about some of the matches that are coming up tonight. 2 tag title matches. So, we have Irresistible Forces defending their titles against the Bellas. We also have the MFTs defending their titles. So we have that. Randy's supposed to be making a statement tonight. Not sure if it's going to be an in-ring thing or like a pre-recorded thing. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. So we'll see about that. Trying to think of what else. But yeah, it looks like a pretty fun show overall. SmackDown has a way of there's a lot that's not advertised. It is a 3-hour show, so sometimes there's a lot that's not advertised. So we'll see what they have in store for us tonight. But if you are checking out the stream for the first time, please drop a like, subscribe. I do weekly content. I'm always doing live streams, prediction videos, shorts. I do previews every time before like a Raw or SmackDown. You can come on a couple hours before. You'll have an idea of what matches are going to be on the show for that night because I'll do a quick short. So I appreciate it. Like and subscribe. And I hope everybody is having a good weekend so far. I spent my day today. I was a Pokemon release day, not like a new release day, but it was a release day of new products. And I spent a good portion of my day looking for those cards, and I have to say it was a success. And for anybody that doesn't understand why I'm talking about Pokemon, I have another YouTube channel. It is called Chase 'Em All, and that is exactly what I do. I master set Pokemon sets. So any type of release, I try to master set it. So I'm going to be opening up a ton of new products on that channel in the coming days. I'll probably do a bunch of filming tonight. All right, so back to wrestling while you're here. This segment that they're showing right now was shocking to me. I know Randy is Randy, but I honestly did not think that he would turn on Cody on SmackDown. I thought it would be longer. I thought it would be a few weeks building to this turn, as opposed, since there is so much history there. Where they rode together, Cody very much sees him as like a role model in some ways. So I definitely thought that it would take longer to get here, but seeing how they're handling the Roman feud with Punk, I really think they're going about it the correct way by amping it up very quickly with Punk and Randy. All right, there's Johnny. How's it going, man? Good to see you. Hey, just wanted to drop in and say hi. I have some work stuff I need to do right now, but to show you support, I'll have you on in the background while I'm getting some work done. And he also says, I'll chime in periodically. Johnny, thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate you. You have no idea. Thank you so much. And hopefully we have a good SmackDown in store tonight. But yeah, that was a very vicious attack from Randy. And even more vicious than what I thought. So I'm curious to see what he has to say. But the reveal is never better than just what takes place. I always prefer a little bit of ambiguity with these types of storylines, because I feel like once you explain it, sometimes it doesn't feel like enough of an explanation to merit the behavior. Sometimes it just lessens the turn when you over-explain it. So we'll see.
Randy Orton is going to be here later tonight. We will hear from him, get his explanation as to everything you just saw. Now, as for the match matches set to come your way tonight. We have championships.
Okay, so there is Irresistible Forces and Bella Twins.
For a title defense, the Irresistible Forces, Nia Jax, Lash Legend, they will be in action against the Bella Twins.
There's the Bellas.
Reunited. Nikki and Brie are going for gold. The WWE Women's Tag Team Championship will be decided. And
there's the MFTs. Their tag titles defending against Priest and R-Truth. Hey, they could lose those to Priest and R-Truth, but it depends how the Wyatt Six get involved. I'm sure they will.
Where's the hair, R-Truth? But they have
Truth getting his head cut, hair shaved.
Get their shot at the champs. The WWE Tag Team Championship match, that's tonight.
Priest is like, what? Oh, there's Kit Wilson.
Is here. The tour of toxic rebuke has
What's up with all the jelly roll involvement here?
And it comes with a very
okay, so Kit just took out a jelly roll vinyl record, threw it on the floor, and cleaned his feet on it.
Look at that big truck pulling up here. The Grammy winner is back with us. Jelly Roll is here on the
What's happening? What is happening? Oh, Drew and Jacob. Oh man, Drew's taped up.
Drew McIntyre is just
wow. Do these guys have a match tonight? Jeez. Why is it every time Drew gets into a feud, it's so personal? Like everybody else has feuds, they have rivalries, but when Drew has one, it's like a blood feud. It's like real.
Okay, so SmackDown is nothing like we could have imagined right from the start with the situation out in the parking lot with McIntyre beating down Fatu.
Well, absolute mayhem. Look, we know the story between those two has been boiling and simmering for months now. I mean, including costing each other matches, championships, but what the hell, security?
RKO, everybody.
Things are at a boiling point right now in many areas of WWE, and that is what WrestleMania season really can do to anyone, Joe.
Yeah, the vitriol, the hatred, the venom, the obsession with Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu, it continues, and it happened here again at the beginning of SmackDown. And
what the hell did you think was going to happen?
No, Drew's making his way to the arena.
Oh, you want me just to shut up and wrestle? The only place I should be wrestling is the main event of WrestleMania, and you took that from me.
We got like a pipe bomb situation here.
I came here to fight, and if anybody wronged Drew McIntyre, your ass belongs to me.
He's not happy.
What the hell is wrong with you? What is
Nick.
your issue, Drew McIntyre? I swear to God, you're the most self-sabotaging person I've ever known in this business. Every opportunity handed to you, and you still act like a maniac. You wanted to be champion. You didn't want to defend the championship. Now you want Jacob, and by the way, he wants you to be very sure of that. And now I put you in a match, and now you can't keep your hands off each other. You talk about being on the way to WrestleMania. The only place you're on your way to is unemployment.
Oof. That's a threat.
I dare you, Fergie. I tried to quit. But you'd love that. Everybody would love that, wouldn't they? No, Jacob would love that.
That's Jacob behind him.
You would love it. I got a better idea. You think I'm acting like a child, by the way? Yeah, I know you've got a child. Donovan should be ashamed to have such a corporate stooge for a father. And I am going to cause chaos all night. You got to be kidding me.
Oh, there's Jacob. He's coming up from behind.
Oh, God, back from the back. This is not smart, Fatu.
Oh, man. These guys are not.
Well, Fatu looked absolutely wiped down moments ago, and he might be going straight back there. Clearly, nowhere.
Yeah, Drew means business.
100%, and McIntyre all over Fatu like a rash.
right into the post.
Jeez. Well, this one right off the
Yeah, he's
bat,
unhinged.
completely off schedule. And I don't think we're getting back on there anytime soon.
Oh, man.
Fatu with a completely crazed look in his eye.
Oh, he's melting down.
Well, watch out, Joe. This is no longer safe.
It's not with these two at all. Oh, man.
I always feel like that the chair is probably going to be like the worst part of that. Like getting tossed over the table right onto that hard chair with those very hard arms, those armrests.
Me too, for that matter.
I feel like it's the worst part.
Headbutt is just laid him out, beating him down with headbutt after headbutt. Right on our announce desk.
They're going to pull him off. Yeah, they got some separation. This is going to be a wild night.
I think they've been able to contain Fatu.
Oh, God, for how long, though?
Out to the edge of the outer bowl.
Take what you can get with these combustible forces.
Oh, man.
Fatu just went airborne and destruction everywhere.
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
This is him.
Right through the table.
Through timekeeper.
These guys are going to destroy each other.
275 pounds flying through the air and just annihilating the announce desk. And that is the wild beginning to this night of SmackDown.
Yeah, so SmackDown was not wasting any time tonight, kicking things off on a pretty high level. So it looks like Jacob and Drew have just reached a boiling point here. So I thought there was a match between them, but I'm assuming that's not the case. I'm not sure. But it looks like that's the route for Mania at this point. I mean, they've definitely had a few options on the table with like Cody and Sammy and Randy and Drew and Jacob, and it just feels like all these guys have almost been like orbiting each other in a way that like they all felt very connected. The stories felt very connected and felt like that they were building something a little more organic, and it could kind of be that way still. I mean, we still have, you know, Sammy is having backstage interactions with Cody. He's having backstage interactions with Randy every single week. And I imagine there'll probably be one tonight as well. Do you guys think that Nia and Lash will be losing the tag championships to the Bellas? I mean, that's definitely a match that kind of feels like it kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, everything right now is kind of like, what do they want for Mania? I did see something earlier today. I'm not going to repeat it because I don't know if it's true. But it was basically about Bianca Belair's return, and it sounds like that it may, if this report is true, it sounds like that she's nowhere near a return. If anything, it sounds like that the issue with her finger may be worse. I'm not gonna talk much about that because I never want to be one of those. I never want to be one of those guys that talks about things I don't know just based off like somebody came up with something and now I'm repeating it and then somebody hears it and then they repeat. I don't want to be that. So, but I'm sure if you look online, you'll probably see what I'm referring to. But it seems like that it may be that she's further from a return than what we thought. And I know a lot of people were hoping that she would be back by Mania or at least by SummerSlam. And it sounds like that might not be the case. So, based on what I'm hearing. But yeah, it's been a, has everybody had a good week? It's been a busy week. I feel like that by doing 2 channels, I'm always either editing, filming, or looking for something to film. So it feels like I'm always on doing this kind of thing, which I absolutely have to say I'm having a blast. I've had so much fun making videos for both of my channels.
We're in Raleigh, North Carolina for an absolutely wild Smackdown.
Okay, they're in Raleigh tonight?
What
all right.
happened moments ago, because upon the arrivals of our superstar, all of a sudden there was major commotion.
Oh yeah, there was some commotion, all right. Got my Project Rock on tonight, as you can see.
The scene, 2 cars crashed, and all of a sudden Drew McIntyre ripping Jacob Fatu through the windshield and beating him down, Wade.
Well, clearly it was an attack predetermined by McIntyre to cause maximum damage to Jacob Fatu, and maximum damage it did indeed cause. And at this point, the assumption was Jacob Fatu was heading straight to hospital, while Drew McIntyre headed out to ring. However, back from the dead, apparently, Joe. In comes the Samoan Werewolf, and the brawl ensued at ringside, which quickly became a human demolition derby, with the body of McIntyre crashing into the steps, and then much worse than that.
They thought they had him contained, but no! The Samoan Werewolf flying through Timekeeper, up onto the barrier, and smashing through McIntyre and destroying the reinforced announce desk.
All right, so we got, looks like the tag team match first. All right, Johnny, he says, how do you spell your Pokemon channel? Okay, so this is a really good question. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop, let's see here. Let's see if I can add that to the comments section. I can. So 1 second, guys. And Johnny, I do appreciate you asking that. I really do. And I think you would enjoy. I know that you said before you like Pokemon, so I think you're really gonna like it. Let's see, share, copy link. Let's go here. No rap tonight for these guys? I feel like I need to do it.
Introducing first, the challenger with a combined weight of 469 pounds, Damian Priest.
All right, I think I got that. Yeah, so Johnny, there is the. I went ahead and I put the link in the comment section for the Pokemon channel, but it's called Chase 'Em All, and I like it that it's Chase Wrestling and Chase 'Em All. It's 2 of my biggest passions. So awesome, I subbed. Thanks so much, Johnny. You're awesome, man. You really are awesome. Hopefully, the goal is I'm progressing pretty quick with the Pokemon channel, so hopefully monetization wouldn't be too far off. Partial monetization is really fun because it puts me in a position to where I can do like patrons, and I can do like other tiers and have merch and all that kind of fun stuff. So I'm very excited for that. I have a lot of ideas. So thank you so much, Johnny. Oh, the MFTs. I mean, it'd be great to see the Wyatt 6 actually get their lantern back, Bray's lantern. I do have a gripe, though. I do not like the inconsistency with the face paint. I feel like I complain about this every week, but
They are the WWE Tag Team Champions, Tamatonga and
but yeah, I want them either everybody except Solo wear face paint or nobody wear face paint.
Oh, you see Solo Sikoa leading.
I don't know, that's not true. I think they still look cool. I don't want to say nobody, but
since they took the gold in late January, now a much different focus shift. with this title defense.
So Solo is not wrestling tonight. So is that the thing? Like whichever ones wrestle, that's the ones that are wearing the paint.
Focusing on championship business. Interestingly, it was actually Solo and Tama Tonga who
Fireflies fly forever. That's a beautiful sign.
It's going to be JC Mateo and Tama Tonga defending them tonight. Almost an element of Freebird rule going on there with the MFTs, but nevertheless dressed up in the war paint and ready for war are the MFTs. And what a tall task this is for the relatively new tag team.
Whoa. And that's what's on the line. It's a tag team championships up for grabs.
I mean, what they're doing with Truth and Priest right now, they could win. It's possible.
Over us and you look up and it's the massive Tama Tonga, but right now it is Damian Priest straight in there with the heavy artillery.
Trying to get right to him right away against JC Mateo and taking advantage as
update on my WWE 2K26 playthrough. So I mentioned in my last video that I was doing showcase mode and that I got to Brock Lesnar and I struggled. Well, I was able to finally get past Brock. And when I got past Brock, it really, I got the stride going. I ended up clearing like 4 more matches or 5 more matches. Like, I don't want to spoil it, but like at one point after you beat a lot of the matches that actually took place, you actually get to a point to where you do matches that are like dream matches. So like Punk has it where you get to wrestle like some of his dream matches that aren't possible. Like you get to wrestle Cactus Jack in the ECW arena, and you get to go backstage and things, and it's really cool. There's one match where you get to wrestle Stone Cold, which is awesome. One is Eddie Guerrero, and there's more. That's just a few. But it's very, very cool that you get to wrestle some of these dream matches and get to see them play out. But I enjoyed it, and I still have a few left. But overall, I'm having a good time with 2K26. I still haven't started GM mode or Universe mode yet. I've just been far too busy to be able to put that kind of time into it as of yet. But hopefully, in the, over the weekend, I can enjoy it. Really taking the fight to Priest. Been beat down.
In singles action, beating Ilya Dragunov in singles action, albeit with some major help.
Truth firing up the crowd.
But it has been a sterling 3 months so far for Tama Tonga.
And I think we've seen the best of him offensively, especially with the cutthroat added to the arsenal.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And of course, he has had a certain Shinsuke Nakamura whispering things in his ear.
Yeah, Shinsuke is using his history with Tama Tonga. So I'm curious where that's going to lead.
At times and does not appear to have got through to Tama Tonga at all.
Of course, their history goes very far back.
Hello to everybody over on Twitch and Kick. Appreciate you checking out the stream.
Tonga Loa comes in with a right hand.
Yeah, it's just a smart move from JC Mateo. Clearly pre-planned. That's the strategy. Turn the referees back and take a cheap shot when you can. Well, he's essentially 2 against 5 here tonight. That is part of the reason why it is difficult to perceive anyone taking down these MFTs.
Teaming up to take down Priest again.
Well, Priest has been completely neutered so far.
Yeah, I mean, usually Priest isn't. He's not overhauled like this.
Down by these MFTs who have been absolutely merciless once they got the upper hand.
Yeah, I mean, he's totally being like overhauled.
He's explosive, shows that speed, that violence.
Yeah, there's just a feral side to Tama Tonga that when it's unleashed gives opponents very little breathing room. That's not to mention this guy is a highly skilled, technically astute superstar.
I need to plug my phone up. It's about dead.
About technically astute, the 2004 Olympian Mateo.
So lateral press on a count of 1. Now looking for.
What do you guys think about JC Mateo?
Priest still has a lot left in the tank, although
Jeff Cobb.
Some punishment.
I mean, I feel like he was kind of a big deal in Japan, right? New Japan, when I would watch, they kind of, I mean, they made a big deal with him. I feel like he doesn't really get a lot of singles matches lately, but
assembled to take part in a #1 contenders match. They won it. They won tag team turmoil. Thus, this championship opportunity against the MFTs.
Well, it's an opportunity right now that is slipping away because Damian Priest, the Punisher of SmackDown, has been relentlessly punished.
Wow, that was cool.
JC Mateo and Tama Tonga.
This to retain for the MFTs, but the shoulder gets up from Priest.
And this has just been a masterclass from the MFTs. Cheating behind the referee's back, cheap shots, whatever it takes to retain the gold.
yeah, they retain at any cost, pretty much. Anything that they can do, they're going to do it. Just knocking R-Truth off of the apron.
Well, R-Truth has taken some sustained damage too, despite not having been tagged into this one.
Oh! The big spinning kick from Priest as both men are down.
Well, finally some breathing room, but is there anyone to tag? Yes, there is. R-Truth rejuvenated. It might be now or never for Truth and Priest.
Oh, I got that hot tag. Did he tag in? Oh, he didn't tag in R-Truth. He tagged in Ron Cena.
And you know what's coming next.
Oh, no, it's Ron Cena.
That's Ron Cena.
Five-knuckle shuffle and
Most devastating move of all time, the five-knuckle shuffle. Count to 10.
But Tama Tonga able to escape into the corner.
Oof.
But now really on the ropes here on the MFTs. There was a tag. Referee saw it.
They're doing a great job of cutting the ring
Look
off.
at the teamwork from the MFTs. This to hold on to their gold. And the save from Priest.
This one breaking down in a major way. Trying to rip back momentum here are the MFTs.
MFTs who won the gold in late January north of the border against the ready-made instant tag team of R-Truth and Damian Priest.
Stone Cold Stunner in there for good measure.
We're seeing all the legends come out with Truth here. Oh, Priest off the steps. Truth. STF locked in.
Oh, he's locked that in.
Mateo a long way from the ropes, but that is a big, powerful frame. Dragging both him and R-Truth all the way there, but no denied.
As he drags the former Olympic wrestler back to the center.
Solo getting involved.
And Solo Sikoa with a major distraction, and now on the outside, a choke slam on the edge of the apron by Tama Tonga.
I don't want to, for some reason, I never want to call him Tama Tonga. To me, he's Hikuleo.
Well, that was 1/1,000,000th of a second away from a 3 count.
There's the Wyatt 6. Had a feeling that they would show up.
6 have come out with their chief rivals in the ring.
Even the odds.
And the MFTs, it is on.
Well, they want their lantern back in the worst way, but apparently running interference. Tama Tonga, Tonga lower, and Solo.
There's Uncle Howdy.
Oh, Howdy!
And the mandible claw locked
There
in.
comes Jeff.
Mandible claw on the outside of Mateo. With the super
Uncle Howdy
kick
just,
of Uncle Howdy.
Well,
he's always getting
Mateo
punked
has to
out.
save the boss there, Solo Sikoa. And he does just that. The lantern still in the possession of Solo Sikoa, but there's business to take care of in ring.
Yeah, like defending
Ron Cena back.
the tag team championships. Priest just levels Tama Tonga. Oh,
No way!
hey, this
That's-
gold.
wow, okay, new tag team champions. R-Truth and Damian Priest. I mean, kind of R-Truth. It's more like Ron Cena and Damian Priest, but hey, that's pretty wild.
Priest can't believe it.
Look at that.
Truth did it.
That's pretty awesome.
MFTs retained their lantern, but at what cost? The cost, the WWE Tag Team
They're like, which way do we go?
We have new champs.
That's cool.
What an unexpected career twist for these two.
Well, this is when Uncle Howdy hit ringside. The mandible claw on Solo Sikoa. An attempt to take back their precious lantern. Denied by JC Mateo, and one super kick. Solo Sikoa can thank his lucky stars for JC Mateo's intervention there. However, sliding back in the ring.
Big clothesline.
Priest cleaning house, and then unthinkably the massive frame of JC Mateo, AA'd by Ron Cena, aka R-Truth. We have new tag champs, the most unlikely tag champs you perhaps could ever imagine. They do it.
Well earned with Truth. I mean, that's pretty awesome. The guy is just like universally loved, super entertaining, so much charisma.
Priest and R-Truth are the WWE
He can work a crowd like nobody.
champions.
Congratulations to Priest and R-Truth.
What a moment for Damian Priest and R-Truth, the new WWE Tag Team Champions, and I'm standing by with a team who's looking to take home some gold of
There's
their
the
own.
Bellas.
The Bella Twins.
They're hoping to
Now,
do
Brie
what
and Nikki, it's been a
Priest
moment
and
since
Truth
we've
were able
seen
to
you
do.
two team together. So, do you think we'll see enough twin magic tonight to defeat the irresistible forces?
I think so, Kathy. And anyone who underestimates us is making a big mistake, which will make it that much more sweeter when Nikki and I beat Nia and Lash for the titles.
That is right. You know, we helped pave the way for the women's tag team titles to exist. And we have made history throughout our own careers, so tonight no one is...
Oh. The ice cream's back.
Of course you two skipped the line to get a title opportunity after interrupting our title match. Do you know what that's called? Selfish.
What Charlotte's trying to say is that you two
Lexi, eat your ice cream. Everything's fine. You know what I was saying? We won't interrupt your title match tonight because we don't want to be center of attention. Whoever wins or loses, we want next.
I mean, no, Charlotte. Please come out and watch to see how real legends get it done.
Oh, she's going to take her spoon?
She did not just take my
Everything's fine.
I literally have tried everything. I don't know what else to do. This is just, oh my gosh!
Hey, what's wrong with this guy? Is your mind or something?
Ooh, actually,
Oh, he's trying to bring it back to life.
can you fix this?
You have $20 human?
Ooh,
20 human dollars.
Yes.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, I know this. I'm really embarrassed that I even just asked this.
Can he reverse the curse? Like, what can he do now?
No, this is not a good time. Somebody just took $20 from me.
Okay, we got a match. Okay, I know. We got a match. I'm forgetting about
Is Dan, look at Danhausen running in the background. He got his 20 human dollars and he's off.
Axiom Motor City Machine Guns. This match is presented by Panda Express. Have you eaten?
That's hilarious.
Walk in like you own
20
the
human
air,
dollars.
because confidence, that's your superpower.
I love it.
You don't dodge the noise. You flip it, own it, make it yours. Walk in loud. Walk out legendary.
That was funny, guys. Yeah, it seems like everybody had that initial moment when they were thinking something like maybe, I don't want to say casual audience, but like maybe the people that didn't quite watch all the shows leading up to it or think of what maybe could work from a storyline. Excuse me. From a storyline perspective, when they were wanting something other than Danhausen, or they didn't know who Danhausen was at all, which is a lot of people. I think it's pretty awesome to see. I have a lot of people message me on TikTok because they know I'm a big fan of Danhausen, and they're like, yeah, I was totally not on board, didn't like him, thought it was a lame debut, thought that it was disappointing because I wanted The Undertaker, I wanted Chris Jericho, I wanted The Rock. Like, everybody has an idea what they wanted in that segment. And I've noticed that some people are kind of like, yeah, not for me. But an overwhelming amount of people, like I would say like 8 out of 10 people are like, hey, yeah, I booed that day. And wasn't excited to see it, but I've actually became a really big fan. He's made me a fan over the past few weeks with these segments. And that's pretty amazing. One, I love to hear that people actually have an open mind. They're willing to give something a chance. That's amazing. And then the other thing that's really cool is that he's managed to create this much anticipation and buzz, and he hasn't even stepped foot in the ring and had a wrestling match up to this point. So people still get to see Danhausen's very first WWE match, and they're going to be fans by the time. Like, I've seen some people say, you know, is he never going to wrestle? No, I think he's absolutely going to wrestle. I just think that they're giving you an opportunity to care about when he wrestles. I think when he has his first match, everybody is going to be plugged in, locked in, enjoying it, because they've enjoyed it so much with the backstage segments. That's just my opinion, but you'll see anybody checking out the channel, I err on more of the side of positivity. I'm not a negative person. I have no reason to be negative. I don't like negativity. I'll be critical of something if I don't like it, and I'll tell you I don't like it. I'm honest, but I'm just not somebody that. I'm watching 3 hours of SmackDown tonight because I love it. I'm on here because I love it. I love wrestling. I'm not just going to be one of those people that's just overly negative all the time. That's not who I am. So no reason for it. And I hope you guys love that about me.
We are 4 weeks to Mania in Vegas, and WWE is offering fans the opportunity to put their name on a piece of history with name on the canvas.
We're getting close to WrestleMania. We're not that far away.
And have your name printed on the same canvas where the WWE titles will be put on the line both nights in April. So
I need to make a prediction video.
Showcase of the Immortals and cement your name in history.
For like what I think the card will be. Which we're seeing more and more of it. We now know several matches.
Welcome back, Mr. Randy Orton. Cody is getting packed up and bloodied up right before WrestleMania.
I don't know if anybody saw today, but it was pretty sad losing Chuck Norris. Lost a legend. I grew up watching Walker, Texas Ranger, you know, and then I don't know, definitely a larger than life presence, and became sort of its own meme, really, with all of the Chuck Norris jokes, and having him lean into him was awesome. So definitely will be missed. There's Sammy.
Excuse me, Sammy. Last week's SmackDown ended with bloodied Cody Rhodes after a savage attack by Randy Orton. You've been at the center of all of this, so I would love to get your perspective.
Well, look, I mean, I have a match with Aleister Black, and I really should be giving that 100% of my focus because, you know, he's dangerous. But yeah, I can't stop thinking about Cody and everything that's gone on with him and me the last couple of weeks. And, you know, look, you could say a lot about Cody, and I have said a lot to Cody, to his face. But the one thing you have to give him is he tries. He tries to be good. He really, really does. He goes the extra mile in a way that most people don't even know. I see how far he goes to try to be good and to try to do everything he can for these fans, okay? And how did last weekend for him? He ended in a pool of his own blood, getting carried out in a stretcher. Meanwhile, Randy, you know, who I look up to, he does what he does.
Very interesting.
How does the night end for him?
With Sammy right now.
The WWE Championship in his hand.
He's so conflicted.
So I don't really know what to make of it anymore. You know, it's starting to feel like the more I try to do things the right way.
He's got the angel and the devil on his shoulder.
Go wrong, and the more I feel people pulling away, and the more I'm starting to feel like the world that I believe in just doesn't exist anymore.
What's that what you said last week, Sammy?
Oh, there's Trick.
Good luck against Jacob Fatu.
I hear that pop.
The monster out here. The one who was just in the car wreck and got back up. The one that nobody out here can beat. Except for Trick Williams. Let's talk about it. You see that look right there on your face, Sammy? It hurts. I know it hurts.
So
But
natural.
you know what they always say? When life gives you lemons, you put on your lemon pepper steppers and mind your business while grown folk talking.
Trick, we've been doing a lot of talking. Maybe we don't need to talk anymore. Maybe we do something right now.
Oh, man.
You know you got a match coming up, but listen, I'm gonna check my schedule. I'm gonna look at my Palm Pilot. And if I got some time, maybe I'll check out your little match. And I'll tell you what, maybe I'll give you a few pointers if I like what I see. Hey, you're talking about.
Winners?
Pointers.
Winners?
Pointers. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Hey, get a real good look.
Uh-oh. Let's see here. Johnny says, I'm right there with you about the positivity, criticism thing. I love pro wrestling. I'm very grateful that it exists because it's brought me so many good times and memories. I just want to enjoy it. Yeah, that's me, 100%. Like, I've never been one of those people that has like a love-hate relationship with it. I feel like some people, I think it's they have in their head what they want, and they feel like that it's just like what they want is right. And there's a multitude of reasons why things happen. You know, some of it's like a finance thing. Some of it's like there's backstage things. I mean, there's just so much that goes into why somebody is the champion or why somebody gets a match or anything like that. And I, you know, I'll be the first to be like, okay, yeah, I don't necessarily love that or I don't like that, but I will. I'm a fan to the point, and I love it to the point that I'm patient to see it through and be like, maybe there's something on the other side of this that I will love, that I will enjoy. Because that's happened before also. There's been instances where I would be like, yeah, I don't really like this story. I don't really like this whole thing. And then it would lead to something that I did actually enjoy. So I think a lot of it's just a perspective. It's just a mindset. I think if you sat down and you watch wrestling with a positive outlook and you genuinely have a passion for it and love it, I think you'll find a lot to be excited about and a lot to love and a lot to appreciate and to be invested in. But if you sit down and you have a negative perspective and you just want to, I don't like this guy, I don't like this, I don't like this story, I don't like this booking, I don't like this, if you do it that way, it's like you're robbing yourself really of so much enjoyment. It's like just get along for the ride. You know, you don't have to love it all, you know, but the thing is I mean, what do you love everything of, right? I mean, when you watch movies, you know, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars. I grew up watching Star Wars. I don't love the new Star Wars movies. There's things about them I really like, but there's things about them that I really don't like. I mean, especially like The Last Jedi. That movie actually upsets me sometimes when I think about it. But that's because I'm such a fan of the original trilogy. So people nowadays sort of have that same relationship with Star Wars. They're like, oh, I don't like Star Wars because of this, this, and this. And it's like, well, there's so much there to like. You're focusing on what you're focusing on one aspect of it. But that's my thoughts anyway. I think a lot of it's perspective. But I'm glad that you feel that way because I definitely try to be positive about it.
As Axiom delivers the elbow, trying to battle his way out of that corner.
Okay, we got Fraxium, we got Motor City Machine Guns. Are we leading to like a Motor City breakup or something here? Because it seems like Shelley and Sabin have not been on the same page. Shelley wanting to help with Johnny Gargano.
Unbelievable pace being set early here between the Motor City Machine Guns and
Also kind of interesting that Danhausen just took $20 of human money, as he called it, and ran away. So is he actually going to do something with that? Is anything going to become of that, or was that just a funny skit?
running it back from what we saw a couple weeks ago out onto the floor. Stereo kicks from Shelley and
I agree.
Saban.
Like after hours of the work I do, I'm exhausted when I get home, and the last thing I'm going to do with my free time is complain about something I love so much. Practicing gratitude helps a lot. You said it. I mean, that's a big thing. We have so many blessings, and people just, you know, they don't want to take time to see them. You know, and it's that way pretty much everything nowadays. But I imagine with what you're doing, yeah, I mean, you would have to love it. Otherwise, you definitely would, you know, be exhausted in the sense that you'd be like, because it's just that type of work. I mean, you got to be on.
And this is nice from Alex Shelley. You
But,
slow this match
hey,
right
that's awesome
down.
that you
double
do love it.
down on punishment. You keep one of them isolated in your corner and get
Because
back
you can
to
tell
doing
when people
what the
don't.
Motor City Machine Guns do best, which is win tag team matches.
And that's kind of like this, like,
And suddenly all that bickering
you know,
we saw
making videos and stuff. It's just not for,
the past couple of weeks feels like
you
it
know,
was a very long
I see a lot of people that are like,
absolutely in
they're
sync and firing
chasing
on all cylinders.
Are they ever?
an algorithm, or they're chasing something like that, and that's great. I mean, you want to have your content seen by as many people as possible. But I love the connections like what I've made with Johnny here. Like, I like to know who's in my chat. If you go look at one of my videos, whether it's the Pokemon video or the wrestling video, I respond to every comment. Even if it's a comment from somebody, which I have to say, overwhelmingly people have been great. But I do get some silly comments sometimes. And silly in the sense that people they'll sort of make a comment, a negative-ish comment, nothing specifically about me, but you can just tell the tone. I respond to those too, and I don't respond in a hateful way. I'm genuinely appreciative that even if they don't like what I do, I love it that they took the time, even if it was 5 seconds or a minute or 5 minutes, to watch one of my videos, because they gave me a chance, and if I'm not for them, that's okay. But I have nothing but, like, I appreciate all of it. Like, I appreciate the comments, because even that person that left that kind of snide comment, I'm not gonna get mad at them, because it's like they took the time to watch my video and make a comment. You know, as long as it's not being cruel, or it's not being cruel to somebody else in the chat or somebody else on the video, I don't care if you have, a comment to say. So, I mean, it's definitely one of those things where you have to have the right headspace for it. And I have to say that since I started doing this, I've kicked in. I've been planning on doing it for many years, and I kind of jumped in both feet in January, and felt like I'd lost so much time planning that I was like, I'm just going to do both channels at the same time. I've had a blast. I mean, I love doing the streams. I love connecting with people. You know, I think it's fun. And I really do believe it's going to, this is not something that's going to, this is going to be something awesome.
Fraser with the splash. And Shelley had to be there right in the nick of time. That was pinpoint timing from the veteran, Alex Shelley.
Of course, it was a couple weeks ago when Saban was being pinned and Shelley moved his foot onto the rope, but the ref didn't see it, and we got a 3 count.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, complaining about wrestling, like after responding to emergencies all day, I don't want to spend my free time complaining about wrestling. That's a fun hobby that brings joy. Yeah, man, 100%. I totally understood what you meant. Yeah.
Was a quick tag.
Look at this.
And as far as the, as far as the wrestling's concerned,
and somehow
I feel like that.
Get that shoulder up, and the Motor City Machine Guns are still
I think
alive.
patience is it too. Like, like I said earlier, having that patience with the storylines and things. And I feel like that somebody like you look at it and you're thinking about, like, why did this person. Like the other night we were talking about Roman and Punk, and we were talking about, like, what triggered Roman and what triggered Punk, and we were sort of getting into the deeper questions of it, and I love that part as well. And I love doing that, because it's like, we're not just saying we like it or we don't like it, we're actually talking about what we like about it. But yeah, I totally understood what you meant, man.
beautiful from Chris Sabin and a quick tag too to Alex Shelley. I'm not sure if Fraxium saw that. And this is just the Motor City Machine Guns coming into their own just.
I mean, for a couple of guys that weren't on the same page, they're really making this look pretty easy. Candice LeRae. And yes, I love when Johnny says, and yes, I love when wrestling has layers. Yes. I love long-term storytelling in the sense that I love that even if we as the viewer we don't know where they're going, they know where they're going. And you can tell with the story. I think that's one of the reasons why the Bloodline was so successful. It waned at the end there, but the idea of it was just legendary. And I think that long-term storytelling, those layers. Oof. I still want to see a Nathan Frazier Braun Breaker match. I think that would be insane. Imagine those two guys running the ropes.
And it could be Fraxium going in for the kill here.
Oh, but instead, Shelley ripping down Axiom.
The Bloodline, Johnny says the Bloodline stuff was golden. Yeah, it was, and it was the best storytelling. Oh, wow. It was the best storytelling since I've been watching wrestling the past 10 years. I think it was the peak of, like, as far as, like, a story.
Well, there was a punch in the middle of that came from Candice LeRae to the face of Nathan Frazier. A quick pin out.
And growing up, there were so many of those cool stories. But
Alex Shelley may have seen something, but I'll tell you what, Joe. When things aren't going your way, you take
so Candice
any way you can get it.
Kind of helping out Shelley there.
Folks, let's get you up to speed as to what happened when we opened up the show here in Raleigh, North Carolina. We came on the air, and nothing went according to plan because of Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu.
Stone Cold is the GOAT. Hey, I'm not going to argue. He's definitely the GOAT of the Attitude Era. So Stone Cold, Andrew, thanks for checking out the stream. So Stone Cold, is that your favorite wrestler of all time? Johnny says, yeah, I got some of my friends who aren't into wrestling intrigued, especially during the whole Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody stuff. I'm glad you mentioned that because this may sound strange, but I feel like as chaotic as that story was, which it was, you know, you had people very, very intrigued because we thought we were getting, you know, Cody was going to Mania, then Rock comes in, then we're having all the situation with Rock's taking Cody's spot, and now Rock and Roman's happening, which is a match that most people would usually want if it weren't for the fact that they felt like that was Cody's spot. The chaos and the unpredictability, here comes Randy, the unpredictability of that build to Mania is so underrated, is so good, that I feel like every Mania since then hasn't, not that it's been bad, but I feel like that chaotic, unpredictable build where it's like we don't know what's going to happen, it felt real. And that's when wrestling's the best, is when it mixes reality with the script. We don't know what's real. And so when they did that storyline, it was amazing storytelling because we didn't know what was real and what wasn't. So unpredictable. Andrew says, yeah, The Rock and Cena as well. Okay. Definitely some major legends there. Undertaker is my all-time favorite wrestler. I remember sitting in front of my television when I was very young. And of course, like, I loved Hogan back in those days when he was doing the yellow, and we're talking Hulkamania. So it had been early 90s. But my all-time favorite wrestler was always Undertaker because I just remember looking at the TV one time and I was like, I think this guy's actually, like, I think he's really dead. Like, he's like a zombie or something. This guy's, like, I couldn't picture, he was so believable to me at that time that in my brain that I couldn't picture him living a normal life. I was like, this guy's like, this is really him. And I just, you know, throughout the years just had so much respect for him. And then from a WCW, which at the time when I grew up watching wrestling, WCW was very, very big, and at times was even, you know, taking the fight to WWE, and so huge Undertaker fan, but Sting was my favorite from WCW. Andrew says, I was going to mention Taker as well. I love the pod until it went mainstream. I agree. I actually enjoyed the podcast more. I don't remember the guy's name that hosted the podcast, but I thought it was better. Ever since they added Michelle McCool, and it, like you said, it kind of has a more mainstream approach. I guess WWE probably acquired it. Is that what happened? I don't listen to a ton of podcasts, but I would watch clips and some of his podcasts just because, like I said, I love The Undertaker, so I would always watch his stuff. But yeah, I think the podcast was definitely better before that. But nowadays, like, if you listen to all the podcasts that WWE puts out, you'd probably spend more time listening to podcasts than actually watching wrestling, because like Cody's got one, Logan Paul's got one, Stephanie McMahon's got one, Undertaker's got one. I mean, there's so many. But the Undertaker one was way better then. I agree. And you had that time too, like with the Undertaker, and like you had the Brothers of Destruction and so many layers. Like Kane was a cool character, and being able to do that just off of the Undertaker. Andrew says, yeah, basically they took it over, and Taker and the WWE booted Matt out and replaced him with Michelle. The feel is completely different. Yeah, which is, to be honest, that's kind of similar to what happened with LFG, right? Because I watched the first season of LFG. I thought Mickie James did a great job on the show. I know that LFG had 1 foot in sort of in that scripted area, and then there was like 1 foot in reality, which again, that's kind of what we're talking about, blurring the lines. But then after season 1, they replaced Mickie James with Michelle McCool, right? So seems like there's a little bit of a theme running there. Is everybody excited about the Punk Roman match? Like, in terms of like what happened on Raw.
I'm surprised you haven't taken a swing at me yet. Now I'm gonna bury you next to your father. I will say and I will do what I please to get the
Andrew says the theme is waifatism. You know, I think you are correct. I think you are correct, sir.
I deserved what I got last week. Right message, wrong messenger. Who's the real tribal chief?
I've heard this garbage for 5 years straight. I've done everything.
Johnny says, yeah, I'm pumped for the match. Should be fun. Yeah, I mean, if I were to ask you how you're feeling about the build so far for Mania, and let's say if you had like a hype level from like 0 to 10 based on the matches that we are kind of knowing at this point, what would your hype level be for Mania? I mean, because we know we got Roman, we got Punk, we got Randy, we got Cody. We're probably getting Finn and Dom, I imagine. And then we got Liv and Stephanie. We got Rhea and Jade. So the card is filling out. We know a lot of the matches. So what would your hype level be at this point? Because we're, what, we got like 3 or 4 weeks, right?
You're old.
Johnny and I touched on this on Monday. We were talking about how we like the layers of what these guys were trying to do, the one-upsmanship, that kind of thing. We were both kind of surprised that the "you're old" line is what made Punk lose the
That Monday exchange between Punk and Roman.
I don't know. Lose is cool. And also kind of lose the
WrestleMania 42 in Vegas, Wade.
The battle of wits in so many ways. Because Roman, Punk said something to Roman far worse, and he was shocked and kept his cool. And then he says, "You're old," to Punk, and Punk drops it. Which we know Punk is a hothead. One of the reasons why we love him. There's Randy. So it is an in-ring segment with Randy. I wasn't sure. I thought it might have been pre-recorded. Johnny says, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I'm a big Seth guy, and I'm kind of sad he's not in one of the main events like the last 2 years, but I'm relatively excited for all the matches. I mean, that speaks to me because Seth's my favorite. I totally agree. You know, it's kind of sad that he's not in one of those marquee matches, and it does kind of feel a little weird too. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were talking about Gunther in the chat, and they were saying Gunther needed to retire Rey Mysterio, and I don't necessarily want Gunther to retire Rey Mysterio. Once you've retired Brock, or not Brock, but once you've retired Goldberg, AJ, Cena, I want Dom to be Rey's final match. Seth is 100% my favorite. I totally agree with you. Like when I first started watching wrestling, he was what kept me coming back, and because I came back for the legends like Sting and Undertaker, but he was the first guy that I really was like, you know, this is my guy. And yeah, he's had some like questionable, like I know a lot of people don't like when he has like the wild flamboyant outfits and things like that, but that's just sort of an era. And I sort of attributed, like, you know, there's like Macho Man and guys like that who had like that flashy style. I love Seth. He's my favorite. Him and Finn are my two favorites. And I'm not in a, like, people respect Finn, but I think people just get tired of like him not having those top spots, so they just, you know, they just kind of fall. They sort of fall out. They're like, oh, you know, he just doesn't get to do a whole lot. But I guess what endeared him to me was when I first started watching Finn, was when he was in NXT, and you know, he was like, he's basically like the face of NXT when I started watching it. And we talked about this before. I'm a big black and gold guy, and I'm super loyal. Like if I like you, like you're my guy forever. So it's like with Seth and with Finn, those have been my two guys since I came back. It's been over 10 years. No matter what storyline they're in, no matter what they're doing, those are my guys, and I'm patient.
Swinging that steel chair around, and there is a calm hush at ringside because nobody wants to draw the attention of the Viper right now.
Just like he did a week ago when he placed it there and held that.
So he's going to sit in the ring and tell us a little bit about why he attacked Cody.
Blue RKO merch shirt is gone. That's noticeable. Here's the Viper.
Not going to use the chair. I like how the fans are like chanting for him. You're going to have to say something pretty crazy to get them from thinking you're like a babyface. I'm intrigued.
For years, when my entrance music hits, for years now, all you guys sing along.
Yeah.
What a feeling that is, the love that you show me. So I try to return it. give the fans high fives. I sign the action figures. I sign the replica titles. I'll see a little kid with a poster that says, "Randy, it's my birthday," and I'll go up to that kid. I'll wish that kid happy birthday, and I know that that kid's going to remember that moment for the rest of their lives. That's a power that I have that comes with doing this for as long as I've been doing it. The love you show me, the love that I give back, that puts a smile on my face.
But I feel like there's a but here.
And that smile is the emptiest feeling that I have felt in my entire life. I've been doing this a long time, longer than most, but the reality is nothing lasts forever. So when the time comes that I gotta hang up the boots, I don't want my legacy to be the moments that I gave the young fans, the high fives, the autographs, the smiles that I put on your face. I want my legacy to be how much world championship gold I have put around my waist.
Checks and championships. That's what Booker T says, right?
Not too long ago, I won the Elimination Chamber, and I was going to go and fight Drew McIntyre for the title. And I knew that I could be exactly who I needed to be to face Drew, but then Cody came into the picture, and Cody beat Drew, took the title, and I didn't know if I could be who I needed to be to beat Cody. I love Cody like a brother, and I still do.
I don't know about that.
But last week, Cody took that burden off my chest. Cody took all that weight off my shoulders when he said, "Randy, I need you to be the best version of Randy Orton that you can be, not just for me, not just for them, but for you. I need you to be the Viper. I need you to listen to the voices." The problem with listening to the voices is that I'm not always in control. Sometimes things can happen. There's no plan. There's chaos. Hell, sometimes I get hurt just as bad as everybody else, but I know that I need that killer instinct. I know that I need that killer instinct to add number 15 to my legacy.
No, he's chasing 15.
And I'm going to do it with the three most dangerous letters in all of sports entertainment, RKO.
Notice he didn't pause for the crowd to chant. And they do it anyway.
I hear voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. They talk to me. They talk to me and they tell me that I am going to beat Cody Rhodes. The voices in my head talk to me and they tell me that I am going to beat Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. The voices in my head, they talk to me and they tell me I am going to beat Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship, and I am going to do it.
Yeah, so
at the main event of WrestleMania
of night one, right?
Simply stated, I want
Main
my
event of night one
legacy to be World Championship gold. And that is the destination. WrestleMania.
WrestleMania's coming together. It's looking awesome.
They will battle for the undisputed WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. And Wade, for those who watched what happened last week, and we're asking, why Randy?
I mean, I'm kind of happy with that.
You just got his answer.
I think that was,
Viva Las Vegas.
it's like, hey, that's just who Randy is, right?
The absolute worst side of a psychotic Randy Orton is back ahead of his WrestleMania showdown with WWE Champion Cody Rhodes.
And as I've said before, I'm not the biggest Randy Orton fan. Nothing against Randy. I like Randy, but I'm just, he's not like a personal favorite.
WWE superstars with original flavor.
So on
Presented by
WrestleMania,
Express.
night 1, night 2, whatever they decide to do, I'm assuming night 1, I will indeed be rooting for Cody Rhodes. Brie Bella was so over in Saudi Arabia. When she came out to that Royal Rumble, wow. I was like, oh my gosh. I love Brie Bella here.
Eager to test themselves against the best of the best. Brie and Nikki Bella's inductees into the Hall of Fame, true trailblazers.
It is time for the Bella Twins to go for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship.
Anybody checking out the stream for the first time, if you don't mind, drop a like. Also subscribe. I'm live pretty much anytime wrestling's on. I'm gonna be live. So definitely right now I'm doing like a Monday, Tuesday, Friday kind of schedule. So definitely drop a like, subscribe. I'm gonna be doing prediction videos. I do previews before every show. And I also do PLEs. So if you ever want to join a chat and you want to talk wrestling, what time you're watching your PLE, we're here. And I'm also on TikTok and Instagram, just Chase Wrestling. I appreciate it. Spooky.
Aleister Black with Zelina.
I actually like Zelina more as this like heelish character.
James that got into the mind of Sami Zayn. It's Zayn against Black here on SmackDown from Raleigh. Coming your way next.
Sammy and Aleister, that should be pretty fun. And see, that's a match that wasn't, like I was saying earlier, like I can give you an idea of what some of the matches will be in the previews, but some of the matches on SmackDown, it is such a long show. We are into a 3-hour show, so a lot of the stuff, it kind of spur of the moment. Matches that kind of take place without a whole lot of promotion or warning. But I think, speaking to what Randy just said about main eventing WrestleMania, for him to say that, that makes me think that, you know, he definitely knows he's in one of the main events. So if that's the case, I can't picture Roman and Punk not main eventing night 2. I mean, it's Roman Reigns, it's CM Punk. I just can't picture them not main eventing night 2. I mean, it would have to be something insanely, like, off the charts to main event over Roman and Punk. So I imagine that, one, that means that Cody and Randy will be the main event of night 1. But that also means that, you know, we've had instances before where like a tag match would be the main event, like with the Usos and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. We've had situations where the women have main evented night 1. So it's looking like it's going to be Cody, Randy, night 1, and night 2, it's going to be Roman and Punk. I don't know about you guys, but I usually enjoy night 1 more. I think it's because it's like the anticipation and you just get so excited. And I feel like that most situations, the night 1 is usually my favorite. it also has most of the matches that I'm most looking forward to. I know that the spot that everybody wants is that night 2 main event, but and I'm pretty excited for the Stephanie Liv match. I think Liv Morgan is one of those performers that really has come into her own over the past couple of years. I mean, I remember watching when she was in the Riot Squad, and you had Ruby Riot and Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan. And Liv Morgan, like, I remember her from NXT, and then I remember her being in the Riot Squad. And from there to where she is now, I mean, not to say that was fine, but I'm just saying she's really came into her own, and she's developed like a personality and a character. She's just so good at being like that obnoxious heel. Hey, Total Drama Sledge, how's it going, man? Hope you're having a good weekend so far. WWE World. I would love to go. I'd have to be ready. That Motor City Machine Gun and Candice LeRae backstage segment made me think of something. Oh man, I'm interested. What did it make you think of? I mean, you had the Danhausen and the 20 human dollars.
You can go to WWEworld.com for all the tickets in advance.
There's Randy. Zack Ryder?
I don't got no beef with you, man. You got something to say, spit it out.
Actually, I do. What the hell was that last week, man? I've known you and Cody for years, for decades. You guys are like brothers. And I get it, you want the championship, we all do, but what you did to Cody, the way you did.
Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me?
Come on, dude.
You got the nerve to talk to me, of all people, like that. Don't you got some action figures to go play with? Mark-ass stooge, an indie nerd. God, you're wasting my time now. As a matter of fact, I'm done.
Oh.
Stay out of my business. You wouldn't understand.
Wow. I like when he said, actually I do, and he had the pause, and I almost wanted to say, woo, woo, woo. Indie nerd. That indie nerd comment cracked me up. Total Drama Sludge, what if they pull a Lashley, Lana, and Alex Shelley and Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano and Sabin make up a new DIY because we were teasing a Motor City Machine Gun breakup? I could see that. Yeah, I could actually see that. Because that does seem to be what they're doing. And Motor City is awesome tag team, but I feel like that they've kind of done with them what they're wanting to do with them.
Backstage, some of these moments, hardly any more water bottles to smash or production crates to punch, and the frustrations, the interactions.
Like LeRae and Shelley being the new Lashley and Lana. That storyline was definitely wild. I could see it. I mean, Johnny is laying around backstage, and hey, I mean, where does Danhausen fit into this, right? He took the $20, so is he gonna take the money and run, or is he gonna help Gargano in some way? I love those backstage segments because they just make you think.
So this audience doing their best to fire up Sami Zayn, who, to be honest, has been a mental wreck ever since losing his... Hold on.
What just happened? And Saban and Gargano with the new DIY. Yeah, man.
He said he was going to come down, Joe.
Oh, whoop that trick. I mean, does anybody take to the main roster like Trick Williams?
Exchanges with his peers backstage. This is a guy that's been right in his face. Mr. Whoop That.
Sammy's like, no.
That reaction by Sami Zayn says it all, doesn't it?
Okay. Well, I love it. Clearly, Sami Zayn doesn't. And Sami Zayn knows.
So since we know a lot about what everybody's going to be doing at Mania, but there's a couple of people that are kind of, it's undetermined at this point, right? Like, what is Sami Zayn doing at WrestleMania? What is Gunther doing at WrestleMania? Looks like Oba Femi. I know that originally people thought maybe like Brock and Oba, but it looks like Oba, or not Brock and Oba, but Gunther and Brock. But I think they're saving that for SummerSlam. So, what do you guys think? You got Trick, you've got Sammy, you've got Gunther. Like, what are they up to at Mania? Total drama sludge. I know you're definitely thinking about this.
Striking combinations, Aleister Black.
Trick Williams, just a passive observer. Got those
Total drama sludge says, I'm not excited for Sammy and Trick. Put him against Jay and put Trick against Mello. Trick against Mello is something I've really been wanting for like the past, ever since Trick came to the main roster. Being a fan of NXT, I would love that because those guys have so much chemistry. Anybody that watched them in their NXT run, I mean, so good. So yeah, I 100% agree with you. Trick against Mello would be, as they like to say, money. Yeah, me too. I want an Aleister Black US title run as well, man. Yeah, me too. I'm a big Aleister Black fan.
Some of the emotional reactions by Sami Zayn.
I love a lot of the spooky wrestlers, I guess.
His mental composure recently, Sami Zayn.
Aleister Black, he has a credibility, and I really would like to see him have like that definitive title reign.
Watch out, watch out.
Trick wants a bird's eye view apparently.
Whoop that Trick.
And Sammy just keeps looking over, saying, "I'm in the middle of a match."
Yeah, we have an ad, but I watch with a VPN, so I usually don't have a ton of ads. I still get to kind of watch what's going on behind the scenes. And check out my. You'll get to hear it, but like if you ever want to see like some of the things that happen that are not on TV or whatever, you can actually check out my TikTok because I post a lot of clips. Because I posted one with Danhausen shooting T-shirts out of a T-shirt cannon, and I got so many comments of people being like, when did this happen? Did I miss it? Like, I'm like, no, you didn't miss it. It's just it's a VPN kind of thing. So yeah, check out some of those clips over there. Yeah, I highly recommend watching with a VPN.
Issues and decline that Sami Zayn is currently going through.
Well, Black's trying to get him in position. Zayn able to fight his way out of it with both the body punch and then the headbutt.
Okay.
It seems slowly but surely in this one.
Sammy's on top rope, and he jumped off the top and caught a huge knee from Aleister.
And Sammy gets the left shoulder up.
Just a tiger.
I think Jacob was actually bleeding today. I think so too, because that looked like a legit. Because it didn't look like that super fake kind of thing. It looked legit, and Drew looked like he was really he was really trying to make it happen the hard way, because it looked legit. Which those guys were like, you know, two tough dudes, and they are really trying to, they're trying to make something of this. And all the credit in the world to Drew, because as I was saying at the beginning of the show, there's rivalries, and then there's, if you have a feud with Drew McIntyre, that's like a blood feud. I mean, everybody that has a feud with him, it gets personal.
Not quite what Sami Zayn has needed to hear. He's physically doing a beat.
I'm not excited for Drew and Jacob either. I would just add them into Randy, Cody. You can add it in some way, right?
Aleister Black and Sami Zayn. Sami gets the right shoulder up. Let's go back
I
to
mean,
just moments ago. Huge
I think that with these guys, I do think that Drew has a knack for making his feuds extremely personal. And I actually thought that Drew, Jacob, and Cody were having a triple threat. Like I did like a little bit of like a booking scenario, and that was my main event for night 1. I thought it was going to be a triple threat, and at one point I thought Sami was going to be in there, and it was actually going to be a fatal 4-way. On some of my previous streams, that's what I was saying. And so I was actually fine with that. I thought that was fine. And then it seems like that I think ticket sales were not quite where they wanted them at this point. And I think they made some decisions to do the Cody Randy, and that's why Drew lost the title, and they ended up going a different direction. I mean, you could probably make it work either way, depending on, because I mean, Jacob and Drew will probably make it brutal. But I think with Drew and Jacob, I don't think you're going to be able to just do a match. I think when this thing gets to Mania, this thing is going to have to be like Hell in a Cell, or it's going to have to be something. It's going to have to be like the blow-off match where it's just like, you know, I don't want to see that feud go on for 3 months. Like, just let's build it. Let's let them put them in a situation where they can just work it out. I mean, any kind of stipulation that's just no holds barred, train wreck kind of situation. But I agree with you, Total Drama Sledge, because that was my prediction. I thought it was Drew, Jacob, and Randy, or Drew, Jacob, and Cody. And possibly Sami. So the only difference is I didn't have Randy in the equation.
He's just not the same guy he was prior to that Royal Rumble Championship match.
I want a 3 stages of Hell match, TLC, Hell in a Cell, and I Quit. That would be a blow-off match, because I mean that's what we need. We need something that is extremely brutal and personal, because these guys are already fighting in the parking lot, and we have like what, 4 weeks or something to Mania. So we're not going to be able to do the Punk Roman thing where they come out and insult each other every week, and you have to get held back. Like, that's not going to work. These guys are, I mean, you got Drew that is, I mean, a maniac, and then you got Jacob, who is an absolute maniac. So they're going to have a really solid stipulation like that. Oh, did you see they added, I know you're playing 2K26 too, did you see that they added the 3 stages of Hell match? I've been having fun with that. And I don't know if you were in here earlier when I mentioned it, but I beat Brock Lesnar. And I caught I was like locked in one night, and I finished like 4 more matches. So I'm still going. It's way longer than I thought it would be. But I'm in the part where I won't spoil it because I know you're going to play it. But I'm in the portion of it now where you're actually getting to do some dream matches. Like Punk, you're not doing matches anymore that are actually like matches that took place. You're doing matches that Punk wished had taken place. And you can probably guess what some of those are. Sami's getting ready he's loading up. He's getting ready to go for the Haluva kick.
This could be the kiss goodnight for Aleister Black.
Here comes Sami.
No, he rolled out.
And rolling out
Aleister's out.
Is Aleister Black. Just when the Haluva was incoming.
But struggling to recover is Black on the outside.
Oh, no. He just pushed, tricked. lemon pepper steppers off the announce table. Oh, what's he got?
He just threw the drink all over Zayn.
It's probably water, right? I mean, you're doing that anyway. I'd be like, thanks for the hydration. Appreciate it. I was thirsty.
Zayn needs to focus on the match here.
I mean, really not a big deal.
You don't touch the lemon pepper steppers, apparently.
Oh.
He's going right back to Trick Daddy, and he blasts him.
Trick
He's
Daddy.
in the middle of the match with Aleister Black, and the emotions boil
You're getting counted out, man.
with Sammy.
Well, exploding with rage there is
Oh, that's going to cost him. Black mass.
Black Mass! Black Mass!
He fell for it. Poor Sammy. Even when he thinks he's on the right track, he's still going the wrong direction.
Got the best of Sami Zayn again.
Wow.
Well, let's take a look at this. Sami Zayn entering the ring after his set 2 with Trick Williams just
I think they're waiting for Rey Mysterio to come back from injury to do something with Gunther. That would make sense because he's out, and we haven't seen Gunther. I think the last time we saw Gunther was when he unmasked Dragon Lee. And I actually had to think about that for a minute because that didn't immediately come to me.
Please, give me Randy tonight. Look, Matt, you saw what he did to Cody last week. You know what he's capable of. And you see what I'm dealing with tonight with Drew and Jacob. I'm sorry, but it's just not happening.
You saw what he did to Cody? The cheap shot to me. Give me.
Look, Matt, I'm sorry, okay? It's not gonna happen.
Hey, Slick. Look, I know you got a lot going on tonight, but why are people telling me that the Open Challenge is closed?
The Open Challenge is closed because somebody made a very compelling case to me about why they should be next in line.
And who is that? Okay. Ilya. Sami Zayn winning the Rumble next year and winning a world title next Mania. Yeah, I thought that was what would happen. I mean, the stars were pretty much aligned for this year. I thought he was winning it this year.
The shots right in front of me.
I really did. I thought for sure he had it.
Tonight, one of us.
I even was like, he was my like pick for winning it. Not necessarily the one I wanted to win, which I don't have. I like Sammy, but that was my prediction for this year, and I was wrong. So you could be onto something here. It could be next year. They've made so much of Sammy winning the title at this point. He has to. Like, it's like I want to see him win the title because it's like they've made so much of that story. I don't like it when stories are incomplete. Like, you have to finish it, right? Not to call back on like a Cody Rhodes, but I feel like that with Sammy, they've done it even more than they did with Cody. They brought the Cody storyline when he came back. They talked about that because I think it was kind of real. I think Cody felt that way. But Sammy, we've seen it play out. We've seen time and time again. He gets to that big stage and he loses and he doesn't get the big one. So it's like we have to see him do it at some point. We have to. And I wish Bianca was going to be at Mania. I mean, I was talking about that earlier, that it seems like that there was kind of some stories, not 100% sure how valid they are, but I heard some things today and saw some things online about how maybe that we're further from her return than what we thought, that maybe her finger, the injury to her finger was actually worse in the sense that something, it's going to be a while. Injuries ruined this Mania. You can definitely say that they have been hampered greatly this year with Rollins, Ray, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Bianca Belair. I mean, the list goes on. Like, this Mania, the injury list is wild. And I have a question. I mean, I know that things are different than what they were back in the day when they were live events. Like I remember probably the first, like up until like TKO acquired WWE, I would go to a lot of like live events. Like I would go to what they call house shows, and I went to a ton of those, and I would always, you know, get front row, and I would have a blast. I had so much fun with them. And at the time, it was like, yeah, the wear and tear of the road, the travel, the matches, it was definitely brutal. But in some ways, like, one of the ways that you stay kind of like, the house shows where you were able to try things, you were able to be more fluid, and you were able to be more, you were able to try things in the ring that you wouldn't want to try on television. You were able to try stories and segments, and you were able to work out what a great match would be and the chemistry and all those things. And another thing is I think that they were able to stay ring ready in a way to where like they were wrestling multiple times a week. And now, I mean, they're wrestling less, but it seems like people are getting hurt more. I don't know if those two things equate. I don't know if that, you know, if they mean something. I don't know. Yeah, and when he won that, remember when Andrade won the U.S. title on a house show, and that was like a big thing. Like, it was like people couldn't believe it because that type of stuff just didn't happen a lot.
Let me ask you a question.
But like I went to see so many cool like house shows. Like I remember I drove to one at one point, and the main event. Now this was cool. This was like 2017, I want to say, and the main event was Bray Wyatt and John Cena. And I loved it. Like it was awesome.
So let's actually be for real right now.
You know, I've been to shows that were like, I think I went to one where it was like,
here to try to relive their glory days.
I think it was AJ,
they're trying so hard,
maybe AJ and Rusev at one. That was a really fun match as well.
We have the Kabuki Warriors, Lyra and Bailey saying
I saw on that same show in 2017, it was Ambrose and Rollins were a tag team. I don't even remember who they were fighting at this point, but I just remember getting to see them as a tag team was pretty cool. And I might be one of the few people, but they always had like these $20 small posters, and they would sign them. You still see them like signing them in backstage segments on the TV every week. But they would sign these posters, and I remember I went to one of the ones I went to. I got like the Rollins, and then I went to another one and I got the Ambrose, and then I went to another one and I got the Reigns, and so I was able to complete the Shield of getting all the signatures. I think that was awesome, and I have a bunch of those to this day. Like I've got like Becky, I've got a couple Seth. Total Drama Sludge says, I went to one in 2019 and it was the equivalent of matches as like a SummerSlam. Yeah, man, those shows were fun, and they would give you, the main event was The Fiend versus Drew McIntyre in a steel cage. That's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, that's like something you play in 2K26 at this point. It's like a dream match. And yeah, and people like would sleep on the house shows. They would sleep on them. They would just go to like the televised ones, but I had a ton of fun going to those. And a lot of them like that would come to my area were like what they call the holiday tours. So like around the holidays, you would get those kind of, they would do what they called a summer wave, and then they would do like a holiday. And I would usually hit like both of them. And they were always a blast.
I'm not here to play with these people time.
Oh, Jade's here.
You back there. Bring your ass out here.
I was just calling out Rhea. There she is. You ask and you shall receive.
Right on cue. The Elimination Chamber winner. The hyper-focused former world champion. Who will do anything.
I remember there was a banger 6-man tag team match. I think it was Ricochet and the Viking Raiders versus AJ Styles and the Good Brothers. I remember the referees, Jessica Carr gave AJ a stunner. Yeah, that was awesome. And like I remember when AJ would come out like with the Japanese mask on that he would wear in Japan. There was so many cool moments like that. There was so many cool moments. And like to this day, like I'll be watching like some of the house show type things. Like occasionally they'll do like a Madison Square Garden or something. Like when Punk came to the ring with the towel. Was that televised? Because I don't remember it being so. And then like Rhea hitting Nia with the stink face, like the Rikishi stink face. Like there's still a few, but like they had so many cool segments back then, and it was all just off the cuff.
What is it, Jade? Huh? Are we gonna talk or are we gonna actually do something? Because I feel like we've said all that we need to say, and to be completely honest with you, I don't really want to talk to you anymore.
See, it ain't about me. It's about what you need. And what you need is this title. Me? I don't need this damn title. I don't need this ring, and I damn sure don't need y'all fans.
Oh man, she doesn't need the title?
You've been grinding so hard to be somebody. And me, with or without wrestling, I've been that bitch, and I'm still that bitch. And like I said from day one, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make mo money.
See, if your goal here was to not make friends, I feel like you've been very successful with that. But you were right about one thing, Jade. I do need this. I live for this. See, I've been
These guys are
busting
opposites.
my ass since I was 16 years old. So I'm not gonna let just anyone come up in here, walk all over me to get what they want.
Oh, another sob story. Rhea, I don't care what you sacrifice and what you put in, and I damn sure don't care about those women in the locker room.
Oh man.
Wrestling didn't make me. I make it matter. And without it, you disappear. I mean, you're nothing but Io's little...
No. I'm gonna stop you right there. Because I'm not gonna let you disrespect me, this business, or anyone else in it. It's obvious that you know nothing about this business if you think that I need that title. See, since that title's been around your waist, that title needs me.
I mean, it definitely needs to be defended.
The way that you are going to understand, you see. Now, I want that title. So I'm going to take that title. That's why I've given you a big WrestleMania match. So welcome to the big leagues, bitch.
Oh man.
Are we gonna continue talking?
Mic drop.
Or are we gonna do something about it? I'll even give you the first shot. Hit me. Come on. Do something.
Rhea's landing all on the line.
Nah, on my time.
Jade backs away, 4 weeks away from meeting up for the Women's Championship.
Well, I don't blame her. That looks like an incredibly expensive
Did you hear?
outfit worn by the women's
Phil Drama Sludge says, did you hear the IC Championship rumors like we're having a fatal four-way?
Hold on a second.
I didn't. I didn't hear that. So who are they proposing would be in the Fatal 4-Way? Did they have any names?
Michin with the kendo stick. Of course, they met up a week ago. It was a vicious attack going back a few months ago.
They didn't announce it yet. Okay. Yeah, that would kind of make sense. I really hope that Mania has the varied
surrounding the ring. Oh God.
Has varied matches. Oh man. So are they?
Jade Cargill just looking on.
So they joined Jade. Is that what we're seeing? So if you can't beat them, join them. Is that what we're looking at here?
What the hell is going on?
I mean, Jade is only like.
And Michin beating down on Rhea Ripley.
I mean, Jade's never seen eye to eye with these two, so.
Well, Michin and B-Fab have hated Jade Cargill.
Absolutely. I wasn't gonna say hate, but that's pretty much been reality.
To the face, and now just being held up and putting in a position.
Kendall is the future. Shout out Kendall Gray.
Jade Cargill,
we have a new faction. Yep.
The Tormentors just sent a major message.
The Tormentors? Is that what they're calling them?
You may have the experience, but you certainly don't have all the answers, and you are not going to have it all your own way at WrestleMania when the WWE Women's Championship is on the line.
So
it's master, inspire, zone in. I've got the Miz method down. Jelly roll tonight. Piece of cake. Right, Miz? Miz, right?
He's worried about Danhausen.
Sorry, it's been a really weird week since SmackDown. My family vacation got delayed because of weather in Hawaii. Then they put me in a middle seat.
Miz in the middle?
Yeah.
Oh, he's cursed.
To top it all off, I have a sunburn on my back that is absolutely killing me.
Oh.
Hey, guys! Joe, I was thinking Danhausen would come out to the ring with you to protect you against Jimmy Jam as your muscle. What do you think?
Wake up, Danhausen. We don't want your toxic machismo.
Why can't you get it through your Dracula brain that I'm not going to mentor you?
Who's Dracula? Fine, have it your way. Stay cursed. I don't care.
There's no such thing as cursed.
Oh man, they're with the ladder. He's cursed. Danhausen's totally vanished now.
I just had an epiphany. How can you master, inspire, zone in if I'm holding your hand throughout this entire confrontation? You need to go out there by yourself and do the Miz method. Be the Miz method. You got this. Be
He doesn't
Miz.
have this. Miz is nervous. Oh. He is totally cursed. So let's see here. So I think it would be Penta, Javon, Kofi, and Rusev. That actually would be a solid. Javon and Kofi are so similar. They remind me so much of one another. That would be a really cool match. Future tag champs, the Tormentors. That faction came out of nowhere. Jelly Roll and Danhausen versus Miz and Kit Wilson Mania match. That would be entertaining. Jelly Roll and Danhausen. So would it be Jellyhausen? Jellyhausen. Trying to think of a name for
Starting to sound like Roman.
Miz and Kit here. It's Jellyhausen. Did he say you're starting to sound like Roman?
What did you
Oh man, they're fighting again. They're fighting all night. Yeah, these guys are going to have the 3 stages of hell or something.
It's a SmackDown fire between them that cannot be contained tonight.
Jellyhausen versus Awesome Masculinity. I think you found the name there. Awesome Masculinity.
Introducing first the challenger
Jellyhausen sounds like a really good donut. Like a really good donut. I'm going to step away for just a second, guys, and grab something to drink on this break, and I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, guys, I'm back. Cold water. I feel like when you talk as much as I do, you probably need something cold to drink every little bit. Yeah, so anybody that's in here, if you haven't dropped a like on the stream, please do so. That really helps me out. It lets YouTube know that you guys like what you're seeing, and then more people get to see what I'm doing here. So I really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And also, I'm not sure if there's anybody in here, if you also are into, let's say, Pokemon. If you like Pokemon cards, I have a second channel. It's called Chase 'Em All, and I actually dropped a link earlier in the chat. If you don't mind checking that out, if you're interested in Pokemon. If you're not, that's totally fine. That's why I have a separate channel. I keep everything separated. So, yeah.
Hey, how about the breaking news today that started making buzz throughout the sports world?
Dominic Mysterio is injured again. Is he really? I knew that he had like an injury of some kind, but are we not getting the... Hopefully the Finn Dominic match is not in jeopardy. I was really looking forward to that.
Class of inductees. The Bulls saying way to go to their former star player. And of course, Las Vegas will be the host.
Who is your favorite on the roster right now? Total Drama Sludge? I don't think I asked you that. I don't think I asked you that last week.
Friday, April 17th, and tickets are now available.
Like, who's your favorite? Mello and Ilya. I mean, that match is incredible. Like, you know. Yeah, like the current WWE roster. Like, who's your favorite? I wouldn't mind hearing who your favorite overall is, like who your all-time favorite is as well. But yeah, I'm always interested in who's everybody's favorite on the current roster.
Weighing in at 210 pounds, he is the United
he has dealt with the parade of the open challenge with aplomb.
Okay, all-time favorite is Jeff Hardy. I really like that answer because I feel like Jeff's underrated. I mean, he's spanned so many, decades at this point, and he brings so much creativity to everything he does. He's been at a couple conventions I've went to, and I haven't had a chance to meet him yet.
He's faced him before and has strategies in his head to defend against his offense, rather than random superstars from the worlds of AAA, Raw, SmackDown, NXT turning up and Mello having to quickly formulate a plan.
But they have been all-time classics when they've gotten together.
In current roster, I love Becky Lynch and LA Knight, so those are probably my two favorites. I'm a huge Becky Lynch fan, which is funny because I love it that you say that, because every time I tell somebody I'm a huge Becky Lynch fan, they don't like Becky Lynch. Everybody liked her up until they liked her when she was the underdog. They liked her when she was the man. But ever since she became big time Bex, and then post big time Bex, I feel like I'm in a camp of like one when I say that I love Becky Lynch. So it's great to hear that somebody else also appreciates Becky. I also love her theme by the Wonder Years. I'm a big fan of the Wonder Years. LA Knight, I love LA Knight. Such a cool like throwback to another time. Finn Balor is up there as well. Well, Finn is him and Seth are my two favorites. Oh yeah, actually, you know a theme is good. This is the theme test. When you go into your Apple Music or your Spotify and you put a WWE theme song on your playlist and you listen to it like it's a normal song, that's when you know it's a great theme. And I do that with Becky Lynch's theme. I listen to it in the car all the time. That was a brutal clothesline. Like another theme is like I'm a huge Alter Bridge fan, so I listen to Edge's Metalingus all the time. Edge is like one of those guys though. If you go back and listen to his his entrance themes, like Edge's his entrance themes are always awesome. Like even to like something like an instrumental, like when he was in the Brood, like that instrumental is so underrated. People don't talk about how good that like instrumental is.
Rivalry between these two, but what I like about it, they are hitting every shot with a little extra stank, and believe it or not,
I have Becky Lynch's theme, Glorious and No More Words on my playlist. Yeah, Becky's had some awesome themes. She really has. And when I heard this one and I heard that opening, that opening line, I can immediately tell it was the Wonder Years. And I knew that Seth's kind of like, I followed him on like Instagram and stuff. And if you look up, he's kind of like a hardcore metal fan. Like I know he loves bands like Parkway Drive and Bring Me the Horizon. But he was in a song. I don't know if you're familiar, but there's a band. I think the band is called Trophy Eyes.
Yeah, the kick giving him just a little bit of separation.
I think maybe that's the song. Let me double check this. I don't want to give you bad information here. Trophy Eyes is the song, or the band, and the song is called Figure 8. And it is an amazing song. And the cool thing is they actually used Seth Rollins, his like backstage, like he's got his earbuds in, he's like wetting his hair. He's like getting ready for his match, and the music video is Seth prepping for the match. That's the whole music video is Seth, and he's getting ready to go to the ring, and that song is playing, and like that song has to be on your playlist. Like it's so good, and I never hear anybody talk about it. But yeah, it's Trophy Eyes, Figure 8. Check it out, you're gonna love it.
Slams down Hayes and goes up top to the second rope. That knee just landing across the sternum.
I feel like these guys are like, they have so much respect for each other, but they also, when they get in the ring, they're willing to like we're going to make this good. I've never seen a bad Mello match or an Ilya match, really. Oh, awesome, dude. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. I think you're really going to dig it. Because it's an awesome song. And the video, like it gets me pumped up. Like you're basically seeing Seth like prep for a match.
Seems that way, doesn't it? get him in position to stretch him out, but Hayes is trying to lock up that.
Oh, man, that was like he smacked him like right on the back of the neck.
Joan Wade with you in this great scene here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Sold out Lenovo Center. You're watching the United States Championship match. Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov. And a few weeks ago, Wade, Ilya Dragunov was offered this rematch to go after the title that he wants.
Yeah, Ilya said that he didn't feel like he had earned it.
Earn it, deserve it. I want to become the warrior again. This version of Dragunov appears to be the warrior again.
Well, Melo is a proud champ.
I wouldn't be surprised if
this rematch with the former champ, the man
if Melo still retains, just because I really hope that Trick is the one to take the title from Melo.
Inside of Ilya Dragunov, and this is the absolute.
Imagine how like awesome the promos between Trick and Melo would be.
Trying to regain that U.S. title right here, and that right shoulder gets up from Hayes.
Carmelo Hayes is starting to look spent right now, but if he just gets a glimpse of that championship, it might give him a little more fuel to try and get back into this one.
There it is, ringside, the U.S. Championship.
Kit Wilson calls out Jelly Roll.
Eighth defense.
Jelly Roll's fitting in somewhere. Like he's fitting in somewhere on WrestleMania. That's clear. He may be Jellyhausen. He could also be the guest referee between Randy and Cody because he was embroiled in that the other night as well last week. He was kind of in the middle of that. And his first match in WWE, Randy's really the one that brought him in. And Randy shoved him.
Melo absolutely nothing in this one, but Melo is now starting to take things for himself.
Dirty Diana and into the cover.
Yeah, Ilya's already got like the welts forming on his chest. So physical.
Carmelo Hayes, and you sense something just changed.
Hayes. Oh, what a big uppercut and a chop, and now he looks to regain momentum here.
Well, this is where Melo really has to be innovative and resourceful, because Plan A certainly was not working for the United States champion. Plenty more plans where that came from. If history...
Oh, man.
God, nasty landing though for Melo.
I hope Melo's okay.
Took all of that on the top of the head, did Ilya Dragunov, but ribs
Oh
first
my,
into the
that
chest.
would
Now blocking out
count
the
to
pain
100.
is Carmelo Hayes, and that is
Melo just did a dive out of the ring, and he just hit the table full force, chest first.
While he still can.
Up top and a big splash.
Ribs.
And you can see how affected he is.
Yeah, and that was about as terrible a pin as you could ever pull off, but it was a pin nonetheless.
That was, I'm not going to lie, guys, that was terrible.
Steel desk.
Not necessarily, I'm not saying the execution, but that just looks like an injury. I mean, that could really be serious.
But Dragunov just about kicking out. A hook leg there might have done it.
That impact on the side of the desk, the risk reward by Carmelo Hayes, and it was risky, and he felt it.
Yeah, and those
Total Drama Sludge, you're right, it is a great song. Yeah, man, I'm glad you enjoyed it. The video makes me like it too. I'm a big Seth fan, and at the time that was it was cool to see like two of my favorite things. I love rock and punk and metal, and I love seeing that merge with pro wrestling.
To getting the U.S. Championship back.
Two absolute fanatics in that ring, putting their body on the line.
And I heard this story once that Kill Switch Engage, this was something that was like pretty well known for a while, but Kill Switch Engage did a song for a wrestler, and the song was actually, he got his foot on the rope. The song was Unleashed from I think the album was also called Unleashed, which was a great album. That song was for a wrestler, and I don't know who it was for, but the deal or whatever they were going to do, it fell through. I don't know if they chose not to use it, but Killswitch talked about it in an interview, and I have a sneaky suspicion that could have been for Seth at one point.
The crowd could not appreciate the efforts of Hayes and Dragunov more.
But yeah, glad you liked the song.
For the U.S. Championship here in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Wow, what a sequence. A coast-to-coast attempt from Ilya Dragunov, countered with a first 48 midair, countered again by an H-bomb. And a foot on the rope from Carmelo Hayes. That should have been over 4 times in a row in the blink
I mean,
of an eye.
Melo, the fact that he's still wrestling definitely deserves a lot of respect.
Bringing the best out of each other. This is what happened moments ago.
Ilya Dragunov is insane. He has the best facial expressions in all of WWE. Yeah, man. It's wild. And he's so intense. Like, I really, like, when I really became an Ilya fan was when he wrestled. It was during, like, that era where there was no fans, which I don't like watching stuff from that era just because it's like fans are such a part of it and it's not, I don't know, it's tricky. But it was when they were doing that NXT UK show and there was no fans and there was like some TVs, I think. But Ilya, and you probably watched it, Ilya versus what at the time was Walter, now Gunther. And at one point I was watching the match and I'm like, this is like the most brutal thing I've ever seen. Like, it was the most hard-hitting match I've ever watched. I mean, there's matches that are more hardcore, use weapons and things like that. But in terms of just stiff, European, brutal wrestling, like you said, great expressions and selling. And, I mean, they really didn't have to sell much. It looked pretty real. But I became an instant fan. I mean, that match was incredible.
So difficult to break his way out, but got a little breathing room, but a step ahead again is the challenger.
German in the bridging.
Yeah, that match was insane, that takeover match. Yeah, that was like the one on NXT UK was almost like it was almost like them working everything out, and then NXT UK and then the match at Takeover was like the masterpiece. Like, they had really put it all together.
Making that gesture for the championship. He eats that.
NXT UK was just so good. Man, I was a huge fan. I loved it. First ever NXT UK tournament, so locked into. Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I really missed that show. That was a really awesome time to be a wrestling fan when you had NXT UK and you had NXT, and it was the black and gold.
Central North Carolina. Oh, the springboard clothesline.
I mean, now that these guys are, I mean, NXT's totally different now, but I do feel like that it's worked in the sense that these people that have had like not so many matches are getting all of this TV time, and by the time they get to the main roster, you know, you're seeing the fruit of the labor, because you're seeing guys like Trick and his debut, and I mean, he's already over just debuting. Like, people are already chanting his song. But there's something about that black and gold era when it was all those indie guys, and then NXT UK was all these like indie Rev Pro European wrestlers, and I'm a huge fan of like the Japanese strong style and the European stiff European style.
You know, he draws upon all the inspiration from his mother, who courageously moved with him as a young boy.
I mean, European's probably that's probably my favorite wrestling in terms of like style.
Dragunov always inspired and motivated, and he has rekindled the
because I actually like that better than the lucha style.
Inside of him for this rematch.
Just a freakish level of focus here from Ilya Dragunov, who has not relented since that opening bell. Carmelo Hayes is living dangerously here.
Oh, they're on the top.
Look at this scene here in Raleigh.
I like this guy that has the wrestling is great sign.
What a reversal!
Incredible
I agree.
Counter to retain.
Oh.
Mad Dragon, something deep down inside of him.
Melo's like, what do I have to do to beat this guy?
Superplex attempt turned into a mid-air cutter by Carmelo Hayes, and this is a heavily hurt Carmelo Hayes, whose ribs may be.
Yeah, Melo is probably injured. Hopefully not hurt. We'll say hurt. I don't want to say injured, but let's say he's probably hurt.
Just off to the side is that title, the United States Championship.
A-Kid, Mark Andrews, Trent Seven, Noam Dar, Oliver Carter, Mako Satomura. Man, Mako Satomura, the final boss. So good. And like A-Kid, his matches with like Tyler Bate, Mark Andrews, and Flash Gordon Webster.
The Mad Dragon.
They were awesome. And then Trent Seven, Mustache Mountain, Tyler Bate, Noam Dar. Like, Noam Dar, such an entertainer. Oliver Carter, awesome as well. I loved NXT.
Using to drop, because if you drop, you might not be getting back up in this one.
What a level
Trying to think of the guy's name.
down to the knees.
Who's the guy like towards the end when there was like no fans and he did the Dr. Bomb?
Monstrous boot.
Dragunov just knew that wasn't going to be enough, but maybe this will do it.
It'll land it. Stacking him.
Oh yeah, Gallus was. Wild Boar was crazy. I forgot about Wild Boar until you mentioned him. Oh my gosh. Wild Boar was something. Gallus boys on top.
Clinging on. That is true championship drive right there from Carmelo.
You knew you were getting something when you got Gallus. They had like that Sheamus kind of thing going on.
The Mad
Wolfie.
Dragon has set his sight. Oh, first 48 midair.
I think he just beat him.
Melo to retain.
Oh wow, he kicked out.
Oh God. An attempt at torpedo Moscow would have been the death knell for Carmelo.
That is wild that he kicked out of that.
First 48, a late kick out. And Melo senses victory here, going up top.
He may want nothing but net right here. Able to get out of the way is Dragunov.
Oh,
there it is.
he hit him with it.
Moscow.
Doubling down on it.
He's going for the power bomb. He knows he needs something extra to put him away. Sunset flip. Sunset flip.
Oh, he retained. He retained. That was a cool match. I mean, they really didn't hold anything back for that.
Case closed. He retains.
How does Ilya feel about this, though? You awaken like a... I mean, he's so intense.
Ilya Dragunov absolutely deserved that title tonight, but so did Carmelo Hayes.
I mean, you got to save the title with Melo because he has to face Trick and the title has to be on the line.
That was awesome.
Great match.
Awesome. Hayes and Dragunov cannot get enough of these two.
I mean, I like him. You don't like him? I kind of like him, but I don't. He's weird. He called me out on something. But anyways, congratulations, boy. Y'all, the tag team champs.
Appreciate that. Hey, man, hit us up later. We're going to go out and have a few take it easies. Come chill.
See y'all later. All right, DP, it's Whipper time.
Whipper up.
It's what time?
Whipper up?
Uh-oh.
I'm so sorry for last week, man. Please forgive me.
Listen, don't worry about me, brother, but
Is he going to attack Jelly Roll?
I'm worried about you. I know what it's like to be the bad guy, Randy. Just listen to me. I know what it's like to be judged for the worst version of ourselves. I know what it's like to be judged for the worst decision I've ever made. You know what that feels like too, so I'm not here to judge you. I'm just wondering if you still remember how much you mean around this place. Every single week in these hallways, I see it in their eyes. You light this place up, and this is the same hallways they used to be afraid of you. But you did the work to change that. You became a better person. You became a better man. And I just don't understand why you're fighting so hard to go back to being a version of yourself you've already beat. Don't let that monster in. I don't even think I know this version of you, man. I know a whole different version.
He's going to get RKO'd if he keeps up.
I know a great human. I know a dude that changed this business by himself. And I'm not talking about the wrestler. I'm talking about the husband. I'm talking about the father. And I'm talking about the man. You're a beautiful soul, Randy. That's the man I know. That's the man that had my back at SummerSlam. That dude that did that thing to Cody last week, I don't know that guy, Randy. I don't know if it's the voices in your head, or I don't know if it's somebody in your ear, but I know the real Randy. And the real Randy knows money comes and goes. Titles come and go. But family, friends, and those that'll ride with you, and that's forever. Life's not about what you do, it's who you do it with. And I love you, brother.
Jelly, what am I supposed to do? Like with Cardona earlier. Like I know I was out of line, but how do I fix that? How do I even begin?
Jelly's doing a great job with these promos.
We'll start there and we can deal with the Cody thing later, man. We've all known Cardona forever, man. It's gonna be hard. Go find Cardona and do the right thing. We'll start there.
All right. All right. I hear you. I love you, man. I know you do, man. I love you right back.
Watch your back, Jelly.
Thank you, Jelly.
You're next. What is the name of this tag team? You talking about Priest and Truth? If so, that's interesting. Let me think on that for a second. Do you have a good one?
Well, here you go, Wade. For condemnation, admonishing and aiming that BB gun of toxic target practice. Kid calling out Jelly Roll next.
Truth and Priest. I feel like it has to be something fun, but kind of serious. Because that's kind of the dynamic of the team, right? Like, he's like kind of serious. He's still like a fun guy, but he's serious. And Truth is kind of just like so... He's just so fun. You took me back with that Wild Boar reference. I'm like, I forgot about Wild Boar. That's a good question. What do they do with Elton Prince when he comes back? I don't know that they... I mean, I guess they're hoping that everything succeeds, but I don't know that they were necessarily predicting that Kit Wilson would take off the way he did. I mean, they had, like... Even in NXT UK, they had those elements of, like, the yes boy and, you know, they had, like, all those catchphrases, and they were super entertaining. But that's actually going to be kind of tough because it's sort of like the Usos, but not like the Usos. Because if you remember when like Jimmy was gone for a bit and he was doing like the no eat, Jay was like in the stratosphere popular. Like he was probably at one point, Jay was the most popular wrestler probably on both rosters, right? And then he had to go back to like interacting with Jimmy, and it almost made Jimmy seem like less of a star because they were so, not that Jimmy's not awesome, but putting him back with Jay made him seem like less of a star. But then also having him away from Jay, you compared it to. I say have Elton Prince move to Raw and be like a sidekick for Becky Lynch. Hey, I can see that. I can see that. Like have like he could be like Becky Lynch's stylist or something. like her fashion advice. Well, remember that this is kind of a weird one, but do you remember Reggie? The wine connoisseur that like was with Carmella, and like the Carmella skit where like Reggie would come out and like bring her all the wine and all that. That's totally it. Truth and Consequences is awesome. That's an awesome name. Yeah, that would be a good one. You're only as good as your tag team name. I mean, that's the thing. Unless you have like a solid tag team name, I don't know. I don't take it seriously. Oh yeah, I remember Reggie. Yeah, he was like super athletic too, but it wasn't probably gonna work. But it was funny when it was going on. And were you another like oddball one? Is like, remember James Ellsworth? Doesn't he have like a victory over I remember he pinned AJ or he pinned Ambrose, which is pretty wild. When I thought of Carmella, I immediately thought of James Ellsworth because that was like her sidekick. I think he pinned AJ. Yeah, because like AJ was feuding with Ambrose at the time. Okay, so Ambrose was the referee. Yeah, I remember they had like that feud going. And it was like... That was such a weird time for SmackDown too. Like that time, that 16, 17... SmackDown had a really good run when like Shane and Daniel Bryan were like the GM and assistant GM or whatever. Assistant to the regional manager for fans of The Office. But they had a really good run, but it was painful when they had Jinder Mahal as the world champion. When AJ won, it was like celebrating the streets.
That's a critical juncture moment in the sport that we could be talking about for years and years, and there
I hear a song, I'm just trying to figure out what it is.
Those two titans, those two names listed for WrestleMania. It is coming our way. And Wade, the tale of the
so 6'4", 6'3", 310, 290. So pretty much Oba's just bigger in every way.
Ever seen in this industry, one with 20 plus years at the top.
Longer reach. They even included the shoe size.
Is the future now? Can Obafemi beat Brock Lesnar?
Speaking of Jinder Mahal, I heard a rumor next year Elimination Chamber will be in India. I heard that too. And if it is, you can guarantee that he's probably going to be in it. That is a song by Nickelback.
Available now wherever music is sold.
Doesn't sound like Nickelback.
Bones for the Crows, Nickelback.
Oh, Kit Wilson.
Kit Wilson.
Jelly Roll! Jelly Roll, you crossed the line last week. You started this fight, so tonight I finish it.
Yeah, he is.
Because where I come from,
yeah, he's
if
released.
You cause a problem, we settle it like men. So get your ass out here.
I figured they'll have him pop in for a night or something. You know, the one I hope they don't do that with is Alberto Del Rio. I'm not a fan. I keep hearing rumors that he's coming back, and they keep talking about it, and it just never happens, and I'm fine with that.
Walking with a purpose. Let's not forget Jelly Roll threw a huge haymaker at Kit Wilson last week.
Is Jelly coming in here like he's on a mission?
And called the Miz right
oh man, he's going straight for it.
Kit Wilson wants no part of that, despite calling out Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll is on fire.
Not a fan at all. And I was actually, like, before all that stuff actually came out, I was never really a fan as him as a performer either. So I'm hoping that they just let bygones be bygones there and just don't bring him back.
Boy, wants this right now.
Oh, I hope we get it.
Whoa, 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 Jelly. Once again, the bravado, the ego, is maybe 2 steps ahead of the brain. I said we settle this like civilized gentlemen. I don't fight with my fists.
Fights with his words?
I fight with my words.
Yep, he wrote a poem.
Be the bigger man. I like
Toxic.
Go get me a flannel shirt.
I bet he's wrote a poem.
Do what? Did I hear you right? Did you call me? This is getting weird, man. Did you bring me all the way to Raleigh to have a rap battle with you? I mean, hold on. Don't get me wrong. I think you're a decent dancer, but you ain't no rapper.
Jelly, don't you dare compare me to a rapper.
He's a poet.
I am so much better than them and so much better than you. No rap battle tonight. Tonight, we have slam poetry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You got a book?
Yeah, he's got a book.
You brought a book?
Awesome poets.
Jelly, you can talk all you want, but you've got no class. Just a couple of ugly face tattoos and a criminal past.
Oof.
Hey, but well done on losing that weight and looking so damn thin. All I see is a melted blob of skin.
Man. He's not messing around.
You're fat phobic. You're toxic. I might even call you a jerk. But hey, at least we got proof Ozempic does work. I got more.
It's brutal.
Jelly, you try to inspire, but to me, it's a little bit silly. Hey, congrats on losing 300 pounds. Maybe now you can see your little Willy.
Wow. Jelly Roll's gonna have to dig deep.
That was pretty good. I didn't bring a little book or nothing, but I might have a little something for you. Oh, Mr. Kid Wilson came in and tried to destroy me, but I don't have to see my Willie. Your mother sees it for me.
Oh. Crass.
Oh.
Your mama jokes. We're at the point we're getting your mama jokes.
You talk about Ozempic. That's really original, y'all. Hey, Jelly's really fat. Your mother could have told you that. I put my belly on her back.
This is disgusting. I'm offended.
That's talent right there.
What is he doing? Oh, he's...
Oh! This clocked him a cheap shot from behind.
Oh, God, Kit Wilson just unloading on Jelly Roll, and
Hey.
Kit Wilson has snapped.
He wanted
Kit's not having it.
slam. He couldn't handle it. Oh!
I mean, he did cross the line with the Yo Mama jokes.
Just laying out Jelly Roll after that big splash, and now going up top to the top rope. Kid Wilson. Oh, that flying.
Maybe he brings back the spilt milk. Remember that?
Landed an absolute beauty. Wordsworth with a pen, and even more dangerous with his fists. Toxicity, be gone.
You do not have to keep reminding me, okay? I am aware of the outcome of that match.
Yeah, they need some water for those burns.
You didn't get the job done. Now, Tiffany thinks she can disrespect me. So next week, I'll put her in her place. I don't know how many times I have to tell you that I'm sorry.
Oh, trouble in paradise, ladies. Well, you know how the old saying goes. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
I love Kit.
Tiffany,
Yeah, me too, man.
work together and we can
Kit
go-
is special.
I don't need any help from you.
Cracks me up.
Okay, that was rude. I'm actually
Very
very disrespect. Treasonous, really. Oh!
All right, so we have the
Irresistible Forces,
Irresistible
Women's Tag
Forces
Team
and the
Championship
Bellas.
match next.
10:30, so we're... So is this the... This is probably like the main event?
That title on your waist, it's an
Maybe look at the card again.
At the end of the day, you're old.
I've already did a preview on this, but I've slept since then. Not really. Yeah, so this is probably the main event, right?
Monday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, only on Netflix.
Kind of covered everything else, unless there's a surprise at the end or something. I think we've covered everything. Let's see here. Yeah, I think that's it, as far as I can tell. Johnny says, I'd love a match between Danhausen and Kit Wilson. Yeah, imagine. Like, Danhausen's cursing him and he's writing, like, the worst poetry possible. I mean, I wonder who Danhausen's first match... I mean, it seems like Miz is the obvious choice. Is that... Are we looking at maybe, like, Danhausen... I mean, because he seems to be, like, people come and go in these segments, but Miz seems to be, like, the focal point. And he cursed Miz, and, like, ladders are falling all around him and all kinds of craziness. So, maybe it's going to be, like, we'll have a match, but, like, if I beat you, you have to, like, uncurse me. You got to undo the curse. Because imagine how funny this is going to be with Miz on the road to WrestleMania, and, like, every week he's dodging ladders, and he's, like, you know, coming to the ring, and like he's like tripping getting into the ring, and his mics are not working, and you know, everything he does is just like nothing works. I have to say, this SmackDown went by much faster. I can't believe it's already 10:30. It feels like we've not really been watching for all that long. I know you're a big Trick fan, Johnny. How would you feel about Trick and Mello for the U.S. title at WrestleMania? I think that's probably my favorite matchup on the table for those guys right now. What do you think? Did you know tonight the Bella Twins team up for the first time since 2018. It is also their first opportunity to win the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship.
Yo, Nick, I don't know what kind of sideshow you're running here, dog, but I want the smoke with Kit Wilson, and I want it ASAP.
You want Kit Wilson?
I want him.
How about next week?
Pittsburgh
you and
it
Kit
is.
Wilson one-on-one. You got
Pittsburgh, I'll be there, Nick.
Oh, I love that.
Wow.
Joey rolling Kit Wilson next week.
Ooh, yes,
meanwhile, right now, we have the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions in the ring. Nia and Lash, the irresistible
Johnny says, oh, I'd love that. Honestly, I was going to say that before during the Mello match. I'm surprised they haven't at least started the feud between them. I hope they do soon. That's going to be great. Yeah, man, I think that's going to be really cool. With all their history, they have so much chemistry. I think that match is, I think that's the one. I like Ilya, but I'm kind of understand, like, if they're trying to do the Trick match, I get why Ilya lost. I don't know where he goes from here, but if they're going to do that match, they do need to kind of, after this now that Ilya's out of the way, and they finally sort of wrap that up, they need to move with the Trick story.
Yep, the Hall of Famers have gotten their way right into the mix, and a title shot is in front of them now.
Incredibly, given how long this tag team has been together, how they are the legendary OG women's tag team of the modern era, this is their first ever opportunity at Tag Gold here in WWE. Why? Because those shiny championships were not around back on the Bella's original run. Well, now it's time to make up for some lost time.
Yep, that's right.
I know, dang, I wasn't expecting Jelly Roll to be booked on a SmackDown for next week. I would have assumed they would have saved it for a PLE, considering how famous Jelly Roll is. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of shocking.
The WWE Women's Tag Team Championship created.
And what's weird, they're keeping him mixed in with Randy too, which you and I had talked about that last Friday, that we thought that Jelly Roll would be the guest referee at Mania for Randy and Cody. I'm still convinced that that might be the case, because they're keeping him in the mix for something here. But I am shocked that he's wrestling on TV next week. And I'm actually really impressed with his mic ability. I feel like he comes off really natural. That segment there where he was asking for the match, I don't know that wasn't his best work, but I feel like when he was talking to Randy and he was looking at Randy, he was delivering those lines like perfectly. And I don't know, I'm pretty impressed with his mic skill.
The fray, and then in the end, Nia Jax hitting that leg drop on Nikki Bella.
Such a competitive division. It just shows it's been years and years since the Bellas.
I don't know the Bellas can.
Even probably 7 or 8 years. And Brie Bella,
yeah, he seems like a decent actor. Yeah, he's doing. I'm just not used to people coming in and being able, because usually like the wrestling's hard, but like the mic stuff is hard too. Charlotte.
We were just mentioning Charlotte Flair
making a grand entrance, the former tag champ.
Okay, Teledrama Sludge. If you get ice cream, you got to share it, man. You got to share the ice cream. What kind do you have? Jelly Roll. Can't after that the whole rap battle, or not rap battle, but poem battle or whatever. Jelly Roll went backstage to Nick Aldis and he demands a match. So he's wrestling Kit Wilson next week on TV. We were talking about how we just couldn't believe he's wrestling on TV. I had ice cream today as well. It was from Culver's, and it was chocolate concrete mixer with Oreos. And if they ever have Oreo overload, grab it. It's so good.
Plenty of world championships between these two, and they've also had some tag championships too, and now taking a close eye. What an entrance. Major distraction, and it may have cost the Bellas here because they were in control until that music of Charlotte Flair hit.
Had to choose between cookies and cream and pistachio. I chose cookies and cream. I think you made the right choice. I'm not going to hate on pistachio because I've never tried it. I've heard other people that love ice cream try it, and they didn't like it. But is pistachio, is that a flavor that you like? I love cookies and cream. I also love cookie dough. Yeah, Jelly versus Kits next week. Yep. It's kind of weird. I didn't expect that.
Back in the ring is Nia getting the best of Nikki.
Is there a hotter division here on SmackDown than this women's tag division over the past 18 months or so?
The Bellas are giving up a lot of size in this match. These are powerhouses.
The brutality of Lash Legend is Nia just.
Where is SmackDown next week? Good question.
Slams her down and right back to business as Legend.
Good question.
Legend has all the
I think I can figure that out pretty quick.
Anybody could ever want, but the best asset she has is the fact that she's a fantastic student and she listens to the mentor, the veteran Nia Jax, and executes the plan to perfection. That's why they hold the gold. That's why you struggle to see how any team can dethrone them. Well, the Bellas are going to give it a real college try here.
Nikki
March 27th, would that be right? So yeah, it is in Pittsburgh. It's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, at the PPG Paints Arena. Yeah, it's in Pennsylvania.
Now Flair and Bliss are insisting
So that's weird.
they have next to whoever wins the gold tonight. Of course.
Yeah, if it's in Nashville, then that makes sense. Yeah. Pittsburgh, that's kind of a strange. It seems like they're definitely trying to keep Jelly in the mix, and you know what's going to happen. You know Randy is going to take out Jelly Roll. He's going to listen to the voices, and that's going to be the crux of it. He's going to take out Jelly Roll. Maybe not next week, but somewhere between now and Mania. I still think that Jelly could be the guest referee for Cody and Randy because he has that emotional connection. So I think Randy's going to end up taking out Jelly Roll. I don't think that intervention backstage is going to work. And hopefully they'll show us the segment tonight before the show's over of Randy going to talk to Matt Cardona. I'd like to see how that progresses. Bree mode.
Go, Nia. Bree looking for the exit. Bad position to be in, but quick to move out of the way is Bree.
Yeah, if you can't match the power of Nia Jax, you better be nimble, and Brie Bella was as nimble as they come there. Here we go, Joe.
Say it with her. The yes kick's getting the best of Nia Jax.
So much momentum now for Brie Bella. Oh,
that kick from Lash is deadly.
Pump kick, but instead she is denied.
She's all legs.
Oh, no. Pop-up headbutt from Nia Jax.
Recovering nicely there is Brie Bella. Desperate tag there to twin sister Nikki.
Here goes Nikki. Up toe.
Big dive.
Cross body takes out irresistible forces to the floor.
Putting it all on the line tonight in pursuit of tag gold. And of course, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss at ringside looking.
Irresistible Forces versus Bella Twins versus Ring Queens versus Kabuki Warriors versus Judgment Day versus Valkyrie Vision, Bayley, and Lyra.
They were so close, Flair and Bliss, to potentially
and you're saying at
but the Bellas
Mania. That would be pretty awesome. Would it be? So obviously it's like a multi-tag match. Would it be like a tornado tag, or would it be like a traditional type tag where like anybody can tag anybody? Then who would you have win that? And when you say Judgment Day, are you referring to like Roxanne Perez and Raquel, or?
Lash Legend with the splash. And coming in and making the save is Bree.
Well, saving the day there, and it had to be. Oh wow,
a belly buster.
That connected.
Yeah, that looked a little stiff.
They had to have it to turn things around, and driving her back right into the corner of the apron is Nia.
Unlocked in the center of the ring now.
Nikki with the fearless lock on Lash.
Oh God.
Oh, Charlotte's like, no, you're not cheating.
Flair denying Nia as they are rolling out on the floor, and a big kick by Flair.
Well, Jax was lining up for a shot on Brie Bella with the gold, and this
yeah, Charlotte's like, no, you can't cheat.
Oh, man.
This is breaking down.
Wow, Flair just driving Nikki into the apron. Remember what happened a week ago, Wade.
Well, the Bellas irate that their chance has
this
been
is really
blown
breaking
now
down.
by Charlotte Flair, who, to be fair, was trying to protect the Bellas there, but inadvertently got them disqualified, just like last week in reverse. And now last week's challengers and this week's challengers are throwing down.
As Alexa Bliss has entered the fray against Bree, and now Nia Jax and Lash Legend are back up in the ring. The champs and the two top contenders, and
they're clearing the ring.
Corner by Lash and Nia.
Well, playing into perfection tonight were the tag champs, waiting for the other two teams to burn each other out and then come along and pick the bones.
Charlotte unsteady on her feet as she goes down.
4 bodies dropped in the ring, and it might be squashing time now, Joe.
Oh, no. Legend just ragdowning Charlotte, and now teeing her up as Nia Jax has her in the target. A leg drop.
Count to 100.
as she was set up by Lash Legend.
Yeah, you can count to 100 on that.
Breaking bodies
Jeez.
and leaving with the
Brutal.
gold. That is the story.
These two are
of the
powerhouses.
irresistible forces.
For back-to-back weeks.
And Charlotte, she must have lost like a rock, paper, scissors or something. Oh, here's the Randy.
Listen,
Randy
I'm glad
segment.
I picked up. You're right. I'm gonna go to the ring right now, and I'm gonna fix it.
So Randy Orton apparently coming back out our way.
Okay, we'll see how this goes. All right, let's see here. All right, so Roxanne and Raquel, and I thought of a ladder match, but the Bella Twins and a ladder match just sounds weird, so I would say tornado tag. Yeah, I think tornado tag would be really good for that. That way they could just kind of, it would take a lot. It'd be a lot of moving parts, but you got a lot of veterans in there to make it work. Or even the new faction could be added. Yeah, the Tormentors. We saw those guys tonight. Take out the least Kabuki Warriors because I think he might be breaking up anyway and doing something with EO, so you can insert the Tormentors in there. Yeah, I think the Tormentors would be a good one to go in there. Out of those teams, the Irresistible Forces, I actually really like this team. I think it can go somewhere. Bella Twins, legends. Ring Queens, which I think that this has done more for Charlotte than any title she's ever had. I'm honestly saying that this run with Alexa Bliss has humanized her in a way that people can relate. The Kabuki Warriors or the Tormentors. Judgment Day versus Valkyrie Vision, Bailey, and Lyra. Okay. I would have the Bellas. Total Drama Sludge says I would have the Bellas winning. Okay. I mean, I could see that because, time is of the essence. I don't know how much longer they're going to do it. And they have that legendary status to where they could really help bring about a new team and make a new team really feel special. So I could get on board with that. This may sound like a hot take. I'm not 100% sure, but you guys can tell me what you think. I think that Judgment Day needs something. After losing Finn, the thing I like about Judgment Day the most is Dom and Liv, right? But their relationship is bigger than Judgment Day. It feels bigger than Judgment Day. And JD, Raquel, I enjoy them both to some degree. Especially JD. I really like JD in NXT UK. Especially when he was more of a sinister, conniving heel. But I think that Judgment Day, when you remove a member, it's typically because a new member is coming in. So here's my question. If anybody on the roster, SmackDown or Raw, which Raw is where Judgment Day are, so we could say let's lean more in that direction, but it could be either. Who would you have join the Judgment Day? Who would you have join the Judgment Day? Because I feel like it's missing something. I'm going to step away for just a second, guys. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back in a minute.
Been a wild night here in Raleigh,
All right,
North
I'm back.
Carolina, and next week is shaping up to be an outstanding
Full
card
drama
in
sludge. All
Pittsburgh,
right, let's see what you have to say
Pennsylvania.
here.
Let's
I
show
would
you
love
what
to
is
see
coming
Grayson
your way.
Waller
Just
in the
moments
Judgment
ago,
Day.
we saw
Signs are
Jelly
leading to him
Roll
leaving the
and
New
Kid
Day, and
Wilson
he can
having
really
a
fit in that
poetry
faction for me.
slam
He is
in
funny
the
and
ring.
great on the
Now,
mic
General
and in the
Manager
ring.
Nick Aldis has
He really
said,
is
"We don't
underrated,
need poetry,
and I think
you
he
can
has,
just fight."
like you just
Wilson
said, he's
against
kind of
Jelly
got
Roll
the
next week
charisma,
in Pittsburgh, Wade.
the fun. So he's got like the funny, quick-witted, and he's super athletic. I could see that. I could totally see that. You know, the one that before he was released, you know who I really wanted to join Judgment Day? And I bet you could probably guess. He was released,
And we had no contest.
but he would have been like, there's two people. One of them
Charlotte Flair against the
went into another
Bella
faction,
Twins. Next
but there's
week,
two of them
SmackDown
that I really
in
wanted in
Pittsburgh.
Judgment Day at one point. And I really had this vision of Judgment Day being a little scarier and being a little more formidable. It wasn't Dijak, but that's actually a really good shout. Dijak would have been awesome in Judgment Day because he's awesome. But no, it was. I really wanted when they brought back Karrion Kross,
Road to WrestleMania, it's okay.
and he was manipulating everybody. And they had segments backstage where he was like talking with members of the Judgment Day, like Dom. And I feel like at one point they may have been just planting a few seeds to see if anything grew. Oh, Randy's back to high-fiving kids or whatever. But I really thought Karrion Kross would have been awesome in Judgment Day, especially as like a de facto leader type situation. I know there's no leaders in Judgment Day, but sort of in that Finn Balor role where he's sort of like maybe the more experienced guy, or he's the guy that's sort of in the forefront a little bit more. And then I also thought at one point Bronson Reed would have been amazing in Judgment Day. Like, give him the leather jacket, like sort of the presentation we have with Bronson Reed now, before, like now that he's in division. I think he would have plugged right into Judgment Day and been sort of the muscle after, because they missed when they lost Priest, they lost muscle. Right, they lost their big guy. Like, they have Finn, who's super athletic. He's got great cardio. He can out wrestle just about anybody on the roster. Very intelligent. You got Liv Morgan, conniving, manipulative, very smart, sort of the foil. And then you have Raquel, who's the muscle in terms of the women's matches, the women's side of things. But they really were lacking in the big muscle department, or at least the bigger guy department after losing Damian Priest, because he always filled that role. And then they had other people like Carlito join, which I was never a big fan of Carlito in the Judgment Day. I felt like he was a little too comedic for the Judgment Day. But I really think that they could have done something cool with either of those. And Dijak is a great shout. I mean, that's a really underrated pick, and you came up with that quick. So that's a really good shout. And I liked him when he was like, what was his name in NXT? It was Dijakovic, but was it Dominic Dijakovic?
For the undisputed WWE Championship.
I don't know. It's been a while, but Dijak was awesome.
I'll be honest with you, Joe, I don't know what to think right now.
What do you think's going to happen here? This is probably about to be a little wild. He's back in the chair again. He's going to get rid of the chair.
Okay, so I've got an apology that I need to make to each and every one of you, but more importantly, I've got an apology that I need to give to Matt Cardona. So Matt, please, if you would be so kind, come out to the ring. I want to do this in front of everybody.
Always ready.
It's the right thing to do, Wade.
Well, Cardona echoed the outrage of the entire locker room earlier when he stood up to Orton and gave him a piece of his mind. I think most people in the locker room were probably wise enough to not get involved. But I will credit Matt Cardona with having the cojones to actually step to Randy Orton in the previous frame of mind that Randy was in.
A longtime veteran who's seen everything and was greatly affected like we all were.
People can talk about Matt Cardona all they want, but
Brandon Cody Rhodes too.
Man, I've been out of my head the last few weeks. I am legitimately sorry. Matt, I think action figures are cool. Hell, I play video games. I'm so sorry for how I treated you back there. We go way back. I've known you for 20 years. I am sorry. And I've got an apology I got to make to Cody next week. He's obviously not here tonight, but I am sorry. Matt, will you forgive me?
is he getting an RKO? Don't trust him. Don't trust him, Matt. Yeah, I knew that was coming.
That's his version of sorry.
He ain't sorry for a damn thing, Joe. You knew
You're giving him a punt kick? I think he's thinking about the punt kick, or the chair at least.
What the hell are we doing, Randy?
Sending him out to the floor. Oh, get out of the way here.
It's like an action replay of last week, isn't
Absolutely
it? Where the hell are the security now?
Oh man, now he's like, he's giving Matt Cardona the whole. I mean, he suckered him right in.
Oh no, he's going back to the steel steps.
And nobody's coming out to help. Unsurprisingly, maybe. Finally.
I mean, yeah, you don't want him to do what he did to Cody, right?
Jesus, hurry up.
Thankfully, security and officials getting down to the situation.
Oh man, he's bleeding too. Yeah, poor Matt. I saw that coming. Yeah. Yeah. Where's Jelly Roll?
Randy gathering himself.
Think about your future. Think about WrestleMania.
Oh man.
This is just psychotic.
Yeah, Randy's totally lost it.
Just beating him down again.
I heard that about Elden Ring. That's actually really funny. I played a little bit of that game, and that game was tough. Really beautiful though. Just really tough, really challenging. Kind of in like a Dark Souls way.
Surrounding the Viper.
Yeah, Randy's totally lost it.
Despicable mugging attempt once again. Learned nothing from his behavior against Cody Rhodes last week.
Perhaps his deep breaths helped though for a moment, Wade.
Randy Orton needs a lot of help. That much is apparent.
Oh, he pushes him. Oh! The left arm of Cardona.
I mean, that's just snapped. The left arm snapped. Another man's arm.
Oh my gosh. You could hear that. He's unhinged. Once fans are chanting one more time. Come on.
With the eyes on the Viper. Cannot control himself. That left arm of Cardona is grave concern.
We need to see Jelly Roll's reaction to this, right?
And we're putting this man in the main event of WrestleMania.
4 weeks to go till WrestleMania.
He needs locking up.
This isn't you.
watching 4 more weeks like this out of Bourne.
What's happening out there? Oh, Drew and Jacob are, where are they fighting at? Nick Aldis has lost all control. Is somebody gonna fall off this thing? It's probably Jacob, right? Hope they both fall. Not because I just feel like it'd make it a better ending. Yeah, watch them both. It's like, yeah, there we go. There we go. Wow. Yeah, it's made by the same people who made Dark Souls, if I'm not mistaken. I love those games because of the challenge. Yeah, man, me too. I love challenging games. And Matt can't catch a break. Poor Matt. I mean, I guess the only thing we can say about Matt is that he has Chelsea. He has Chelsea still. That's like his only positive thing going for him right now. But hopefully we see Jelly Roll's reaction next Friday, and we also get to see Jelly Roll and Kit Wilson. Hope you guys join me again. I've had a lot of fun tonight. The chat's been super lively, and I love getting to talk wrestling with you guys. Matt's the coolest nerd alive. He is. He is. Yep. But shout out to Johnny98. I always appreciate you stopping in. Good night, man. Same with Total Drama Sludge. I love hearing your predictions and hearing some of your theories and things. I feel like we had a great chat tonight. So thank you guys. I will be back Monday. So I hope to see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Take care. And until next time, keep kicking out.